pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Did everybody have a chance to review the agenda?
I did a move to approve the agenda.
I would second it, but we've got to change the 2:30 time slot for executive, is that correct?
Yeah.
From adjournment into executive.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded to approve the agenda. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Did everybody have a chance to review the minutes from the last meeting?
I would move to approve the minutes from the May 5th meeting.
I second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded to approve the minutes from the May 5th meeting. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Did everybody have a chance to review the vouchers?
Yeah, I would move to approve the vouchers as presented.
I second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded to approve the vouchers as presented. Is there any further discussion? Any questions?
I got mine answered.
Okay,
The electrical.
Huh?
The electrical.
Yeah.
all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
You see 2 flags. Oops. Hi, Cindy.
Hello.
Isn't that amazing? We're just getting August 25 transfer payments from the Treasury. ICE Treasury.
Oh, you're talking,
Transportation.
Yeah,
costs.
so- they're kind of a goofy deal, but a lot of credit goes out to Stacy at the sheriff's office. She does all the billing for the marshal and ICE holds. And then when they had a shutdown, payments were affected for a while for ICE. But she's really done a lot of work to make sure we're getting those all collected, what we're owed.
Yeah.
That's Stacy.
Yeah. it's
Stacy
very good.
Teal.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, we have Cindy Witt on our agenda. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you guys?
Good, how are you?
We're all happy. We had $1 million rain yesterday.
Yes, we did.
Aha.
Okay. I'm part of the 250-year celebration committee, and we're gonna do a paint by number mural. And I don't know if you guys did paint by number with your kids.
Yeah, I did one the other day. I'm not joking. Yeah.
But,
That's right. That's my kind of coloring.
Frank Jones has agreed that we can put a mural on the side of his building. When you come down the hill from the fire hall, across from Thrifty Foods, there's that big white wall. And so then we'll put this there. I don't know a lot about AI, but my son helped me, and on ChatGPT, we designed this. And then using VR goggles, you can project it up onto the wall and trace it off.
Did you say beer goggles?
Yeah, I tell you, my son and I did it with my grandson's VR goggles, and we were like, this is not working.
Wow.
But I don't know if you know Nicole Cifuentes. She's the one that has done like windows downtown and the window up at the chamber. She knows how to do it, and she's excited to do
She's
this.
excited. Well, I'm glad that we have something like this.
Yeah, and so that's when I talked to her one day. She goes, would you like me to take over the technology? And I was like, oh, yes, please. Because I was getting up like every other day going, why did I start this? I hate my
Yes.
life.
Yes.
But as you look through here, and this is a great thing. ChatGPT told us how much paint we need to buy. It gave us a cost estimate of how much they think it's going to cost. I think it's going to cost more because we're working on a really rough stucco wall. So I think it's gonna take more paint. Plus, we're taking paint and pouring it into little containers, so kids can come up, adults can come up, teenagers can come up and go, I wanna paint number 3, and you go, here's paint number 3, go paint. Which has me excited, because it's a entire community thing that together we're gonna do. The high school and middle school art class, Micah Brandt is their teacher, and her and Nicole are working together on getting it drawn on the wall. And then Micah's gonna bring her art class in on June 24th, and they will block it out. Then June 25th, the older library reading kids group and the crafty ladies from the senior center that you see all the time on Facebook doing stuff and in the paper doing stuff, both those groups are gonna come together and start the painting on the 25th. And then on the 27th during the car show, everybody can paint.
June 27th, yeah.
And I've got a guy that has volunteered his labor. He's gonna power wash the wall. He's gonna put the primer on. After we're done, he's gonna seal it with a sealant. I've talked to the art guild, not real sure, because they're like, we're old. And, well, that's what they said, Jeff. We're old, and we don't like being in the
They
sun,
are.
but they are, I know they are. But some of them are excited about the idea, and the art class will come back and touch everything up. So it'll look really good before we seal it. The cool thing about this wall is it's 7 feet by 48 feet. So once the high school kids block out the top, we won't have to have ladders or step stools or anything. Everybody will just be able to stand on the ground and paint. And so the town has given me $1,000. And so I'm here asking for money. I had talked to a couple businesses in town about in-kind donations. And I've gotten absolutely no response back, which kind of disappointed me, but never mind. Moving on from that. That's why I'm here. You want this?
I could probably supply you with some child labor for a bit.
So your total estimate for the cost on the high end is 1,300?
That's what ChatGPT says. I think it's gonna be higher
Probably, yeah, probably like 2 grand.
because,
Have you ever seen how much paint kids waste?
I know. But I have a committee that is so excited, and I have a group of ladies that wanna sit at the table and go, here's paint number 5,
Yeah,
And here's this, and give me back your paintbrush, you're done painting, and,
yes.
um,
I think it's really cool. I think it's really cool. If
you
can,
know
like,
what,
block that out and do
I
that
wish
stuff.
it was my idea.
Yeah.
But I saw it in Ogallala, Nebraska, and I painted on their mural.
It's Nebraska. We don't have to give them
yeah.
credit for anything.
So, but I'm kind of geeked out on the 250 year because, well, with the exception of Ian and Malcolm, we aren't going to be here for the 300. This is our time
Yeah.
to celebrate.
That's, well, disappointing.
Sorry,
It's facts.
Yeah, but
it's a fact.
math is still math.
Yeah,
Math is math.
so,
Cindy, I don't know that I'll make it either, but,
It was,
I'll tell you, so I don't know that in the county's budget, we've got specifically a spot for it.
okay,
I personally will pledge 100, and I'll ask my colleagues if they would do the same. And then
Absolutely.
We'll do a pass to hat for the other electives and see if they're willing to join. And
okay.
we'll get you some funds raised.
Oh,
Yes.
thank you so much.
Yes.
That's,
Here,
Stacy and
Cindy.
Hirsch.
Oh, no, you
I'll
can't pay, you
pledge
can't be the
you.
first to pay.
Yeah, that's Malcolm's idea.
Giving me $100 also, so
But we'll,
that's cool.
Yeah, I have no doubt that we can cover it. I am really excited for the mural. It's a really
I'm
good idea.
excited for it.
so we'll,
And, you know, quite honestly, I also some days get up and go, I don't know why you started this, because you're gonna be out there painting number 8.
Oh, you like it.
All by yourself in July.
That's okay.
But.
Feather it in. Feather it in.
Yeah. So, okay, thank you so much.
we'll get some funds together and we'll get it to you.
Okay, well, you can just take it up to the chamber.
Okay.
They're gonna keep track of our funds, and then I don't know if we have excess funds. I guess I'll come back and we can figure out
Donuts,
what we do with that money.
Refreshments.
beer,
Refreshments, yeah.
You did say
Kool-Aid.
beer goggles.
Beer goggles.
Beer goggles.
I have no doubt there will be other celebrations that are, for the 250th that will require some funds, so.
Yeah, exactly, well, yeah, like Chuck Brown's or,
You know, you may have people, once this project gets off the ground and they're kind of watching, may come by and say, well, how can I help? Well, throw in $20, 50.
Right.
You know, and that may help.
We're running
you know,
out of
towards the
blue
tail
paint.
end.
Yeah.
yeah. Well, you should have seen Nicole and Micah when we met last week. I said to him, because the ChatGPT just says like navy blue and bright white. And I said, would you ladies take over actually selecting our paint? Oh my gosh, they were giddy. They were so excited about it. And I was like,
That's a very hard job to do. Not a lot of people can tell the difference between orange and red.
yeah. And I was like, perfect. So
That goes back to you in that book. What color is
No,
this?
what color is that book?
so,
Kudos
There's numbers.
kudos to you for taking
Okay.
it on.
well, thank you
I'm
guys
excited
for your
about it.
support.
Well, thank you for
Thanks,
what you're
Cindy.
doing.
That was cool.
Here, Malcolm, you can try
I will.
and pot.
Okay.
I gotta check on my truck today.
Hi, Christy.
Good morning, guys.
No, I forgot my license plate thing for my boat trailer again.
Well, there's a little more water than last time, so
Well.
so if you keep holding off, you'll have a puddle in your own yard. You can put
Puddle in your own yard.
so,
Okay, we have our county treasurer on our agenda. Good morning, Christy.
good morning. How are you guys this morning?
Great.
Fantastic.
Good.
A little
Yes.
moisture does a lot.
It really does. So it's second installment. Property tax deadline was the 10th of May. We did extend it to the 11th because the 10th fell on a Sunday. So people could pay up to the 11th. We did go ahead and get our delinquent tax reminders out yesterday. We sent out 560 of them, which is the least amount that I've sent out in a long time. We're still trying to encourage long-term homeowners to sign up. This is getting really close to the deadline, so if you guys know of someone that should go ahead and do that. We also have property tax relief applications in our office that are also due by June the 1st, but that one's income based, and your taxes have to be paid first. We've seen quite a few people go ahead and take advantage of that. So besides that, sales tax is moving right along. It's, our average is holding pretty steady. Our Craig Manuel thought that the sales tax would go down a little bit. And we've been pretty conservative about what we're looking at for 2027 for sales taxes. Like that, things are good. Do you guys have any questions for me?
We'll go over budget this afternoon, but the Craig report does predict a small increase in sales tax next year. I will say their prediction for 26 was darn near spot on.
So they're predicting a small increase.
Again, it was just a little less, but yeah.
This year was a little less. Yeah.
So yeah, I think our estimate that you gave the municipalities is gonna be right on for when that's gonna be taken care of. So, yeah. Anything else for me?
Do you guys have any questions for Christie?
I rarely do because all their stuff's so dialed in.
I just say there's no arguing.
Yeah.
Proceed, or,
I just had numbers.
Yeah.
I sort of get to look back a lot. The ad is gonna start, the delinquent ad will start appearing in the paper the second week in June. We're planning our tax lien sale for July the 9th. It's a Thursday, so that's where we're at with that. So, I appreciate your time. You get a full
Canada
agenda.
filing's open for 10 more days in case you change of heart.
look at you, look how brave you are, Christie.
Yeah.
You're gonna do it, aren't you?
That thought hasn't even went across your windshield yet?
No, thank you, but I appreciate the
Yeah.
kind words, so.
Thanks, Christie.
But good luck to you, Jess. Thank you.
I think we have Jim on at 9:30. Kelly, do you have any updates from the town of Wheatland for us?
We're just going through a water assessment survey currently. We've got some people in to look at it. We're still dealing with the purchase of hangars at the airport, the usual battles. Other than that, not a whole lot really going on.
Fill in the swimming pool?
Well, yesterday helped a little bit. We had some slush going on.
Yeah.
We were trying to do a polar plunge yesterday, but it didn't go through.
Not enough to plunge?
Well, it might have hurt the bottom.
You'd have to roll around to get one.
It's certainly cold enough on my sprinkler to do a polar plunge, I can tell you that.
That's right.
I got a sunburn on Saturday and had to
Yeah.
put a coat on yesterday. I'm like, what is going on?
Frostbite.
Frostbite today.
Yeah.
There's a guy up on the plains that says, never forget, 2 sheep herders froze to death north of Rock River on the 15th of May.
It was brisk out
It was
yesterday.
brisk, yeah.
Thanks, Kelly.
Yes, sir.
We're a little ahead of schedule, Jim, but we'll go ahead and get started.
Okay. Well, we've been busy. So,
Well, we're winding down everywhere.
yeah. So I got a couple of pictures I want to show you. The HVAC is done in the Coleman building. This is the spot in public health For some reason, that's not as, it didn't come up as dark in the picture as what it really is. So I talked to Brian with Mr. Beason. He told me that he would be back when the project was finished to clean those carpets. I tried him yesterday, couldn't get hold of the carpet guy, so I'll try him again today. Hopefully it comes out, otherwise I don't know what we do. But it's really noticeable in that hallway over there. So, yeah, that project has been completed.
It just keeps bleeding back through, don't it?
Oh, yeah, it never gets any lighter. And that's not the spot that I thought would be the problem. It was one of the smaller spots that there was, but
Kinda got worse.
yeah.
The bad one's gone.
Is there still some vents to put in the attorney's office?
Yes, so I have not got the call from them to say those vents are in yet. When we're in Cheyenne, we'll stop and pick those up and put them in ourselves. So, but other than that, I haven't heard any complaints, so. It's been, air conditions work, the heater's working today, so.
Is it
They said
noticeably
yesterday 70 feels hotter than it used to. Probably 'cause working more efficiently, you know?
different? That probably because it's warm air is everywhere, not just in
Yeah,
one spot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here's the floor in the agriplex. That's what we tore up. Obviously, that's the biggest area that we have tore up. We're just putting, that picture is where we're putting the stuff called, what's that?
Self-level.
Self-leveling.
Oh,
Yeah, what is this spot?
What's that?
It's disappeared now.
Yeah, it's covered now. There was a floor drain, like right in the middle over here. There was a floor drain in there that they had covered prior, but,
But
And
that
this-
floor drain is not attached to anything
Nope.
anymore.
Nope.
Did you guys
what pictures?
look around outside?
Oh, that's
We-
when we
yeah.
were pouring.
we had dug on the east side, oh, what do you say, 5.5 foot down
Yeah.
for 25, 30 feet.
Didn't find anything.
Never found a thing. So this was just, there was just a big old bubble there where it had separated the self-leveling from the concrete. And then Dan went in and put these gouges in it to adhere it a little better.
Did you guys gouge it? Dan?
Just with a diamond
Oh, yeah,
in the wheel.
yeah.
So
Yeah, on the
That's-
grinder and just.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's-
it was a mess.
Yeah. Yeah.
So were you able to find matching flooring to put,
We actually had,
you found that you
Yeah.
thought we had?
yep.
You cannot find it though.
So, and there's nothing to match it.
So how much did you have? Did you have more?
2.5 boxes is what we have, so, and we're gonna use probably, what, 5,
No, about 9.
9?
Yeah, we, so about 18 had to come out, and so we probably broke half of them.
Yeah.
Well, getting that stuff up.
How many's in a box?
It's no joke.
Yeah.
I'm impressed. I'm impressed you got any of it off.
It's not designed to come back.
You
No.
use one box and you still have one left over.
Yeah,
You know, my
there's
question
nothing to
goes back
match
to
it.
causation. What caused it?
so,
Well, the only thing we found when we got that concrete out was a lot of moisture,
Okay,
a lot. So we sealed it real good. We,
So is the moisture under the self-leveling?
yeah, between the 2 layers. So, you know,
it can't permeate through an exterior wall or around the threshold of that door to have found its way in
well,
there?
It had to
or-
have been from when it flooded,
yeah.
because there's no moisture in the ground right now.
no,
No.
and it was, I
It's
mean,
coming
you
up.
know, you couldn't even feel anything when you're digging either. it was all rip,
Yeah.
tear, everything.
Right.
And even, so directly out from here, there's a floor drain, or I mean a roof drain and a roof drain. There wasn't a drop of moisture even by those. It was as dry as,
So that had to have got in on the edge and then worked its way back
I think so.
from when that flooded.
And dried out, it dried out where it could get close, when it was close enough to the wall to dry out, and then it just didn't have enough.
That's the only thing I mean.
Yeah,
That may be the lowest point of that room.
yeah, it might be, I bet you it actually is, because those were floor drains.
Yeah, bathrooms were back there and whatnot, so,
Yeah,
you know, if you look at the
Right in
width and
that
the spread of
area.
that room, it probably heads off to the southeast. However gradual that may be.
right.
So hopefully we'll be gluing those tiles in this afternoon.
So when you took the flooring out, and then you're adding new self-leveling over that,
Yes.
but the moisture was between the self-leveling and the
Right.
original floor?
So we sealed it, and then we used the recommended, primer, from the self-leveling outfit.
Right.
So,
And when you took the self-leveling, the original self-leveling out, did you go out till you stopped getting moisture, or? how did you
No,
decide how much to
we
take out?
went out till it was no longer hollow under it.
So
Yeah,
as long as it was solid, you stopped when it started being,
Right.
Yep.
okay.
Yeah,
probably was.
so that's why the hump like this became,
Yeah.
about 8 by 8.
Mhm.
It might not look like it, but that's about an 8 by 8 square.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Years ago, we used a product we just called it moose milk, that you would put in as a bonding agent, to help with that. Don't ask me where moose milk came from.
Let
I
me
don't
give
know.
you a tip for these days material. Don't add that stuff to the concrete. It went off like that.
Oh, really?
Oh my God.
Yeah, this stuff's just a bonding agent, is all
Yeah,
it really
yeah.
was designed to do, and it really didn't have anything with cure time, but
Right. And all those really are is acrylic, they're glue. And so anyway, I mixed it up to seal the floor and I had about, 3 quarts left. And we had about 4 batches to mix. I said, we'll put a quart in each batch with like 3 bags. You pour the wheelbarrow out, wait, let that kind of flow, it'd be rock hard in the wheelbarrow.
really?
Like minutes.
Wow.
So, yeah.
So you went full strength with it as opposed to?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, sorry to interrupt, you said you're replacing tiles this afternoon?
Yeah.
So we've got the public hearing at 9 tomorrow, you'll have the stage all
Yep.
set up, okay?
Yep.
We'll come out 3:30-ish, I think,
That's what I
roughly when we're
figured, so.
wrapped up here, and then we'll set up, but
They're cleaning the room now and we bought a, what do you call it? Like a shroud for a vacuum.
Mhm.
No mess at all.
Yeah,
What a difference. You saw what it looked like before. It was a ½ inch of dust everywhere.
I will give a big kudos to these guys because on Tuesday of last week, we needed to set up for the planning and zoning public hearing. And I walked in and I was like, oh my lord.
hey,
I said, do you guys know we have a public hearing? We know.
it was at the request of the commissioners that we dust up the place.
And then it was spotless. By the time we were done, it was awesome. So kudos.
Yes, thank you, Kurt. That's
But it did
Thank
cause
you.
me a little,
So
Not
this
only
time we used an easy up and draped plastic. Secured that down, got inside it with the vacuum on the grinder and I wasn't even,
You didn't have to
I was
pull
this
out,
dirty.
you didn't have to clean your nose and you got in
No.
the shower.
And I'm the worst for stuff coming out my eyeballs, and
Yeah.
bloody noses in the shower that night.
Yeah, that's good.
So
we'll set up
confidence is high, we're not gonna have to do this
few, so.
5 years from now.
I hope.
Depends on if it flood again.
Yeah, I mean, if we don't have a flood.
Yeah.
So that's where we're at with that. We should have it all wrapped up this afternoon. just take your time and keep going. The jail project, we are, should be wrapping up here, today and tomorrow. We're doing some touch-ups, we're painting the floor on the bottom side. Hopefully as we speak, they're doing that, so. Then we've got a few, little things we gotta do. We gotta put a handrail in and touch up some, paint scuffs that we scuffed up with the grinder, and that type of thing, so, it should, we should be turning it back over to them by Thursday afternoon.
So you've got all the light fixtures replaced and
The only thing we
showers.
don't have in are the showers. I have all of the controls are here, the shower fixtures are not here. So, but that's simple, we can, they'll just lock them down in their cells and we'll go in and pull the fixture off, put the new one on.
Was there a delay getting shower fixtures or was?
Well, they had to make them, they were like 12 weeks out,
They're taking every 12 weeks.
Okay,
yeah,
so it wasn't shelf stock.
no,
They had to build it.
Yeah.
So the company that made the retrofit, they also make penal wear, they call it.
Mhm.
They don't make them like this, but their planners and engineers looked at pictures and a drawing, and so they're making them now. They'll probably offer them now, I would imagine.
so.
There you go.
It's not quite how the next one will go, but,
Now, next one will probably paint last too.
yeah. We'll go. That, it just didn't work out that way to do it this time, but.
No, when they go, you can do it now, or you can do it in, what did he say, August or something?
Yeah,
Better do it now.
Better do it now, yeah.
but you was in there,
Yeah, I just want to point out, it looks great. I mean, you guys have done a really good job, and it'll be exciting to have it back so we can get it filled up again, but it is looking nice.
looks good enough you could live in there.
I would.
I'd rather
I
not.
wouldn't have to cook, I wouldn't have, well, it's still clean, but.
Yeah,
Both districts are happy, Cheyenne and Casper, really happy with how it looks.
Yep.
really,
Really good.
yeah.
Yep, they both come up, taking a look at it, they're
That's good.
super
I'm
impressed with
glad.
how it looks.
I'm glad.
Yeah, cause the guys who are in charge of the paying customers need to be happy.
That's right.
That's where the happiness has to go.
Yeah,
If they're happy, everybody's happy.
There you go.
so. We have this week we'll get ready, we have that big truck shows up at fairgrounds this weekend, so, we'll get on that, get our garbage cans and that type of thing out, get rid of them. The makerspace of the library is finished, so they've got their new toys in it and it's kind of where we're at.
well, good. Things are going really well. I mean, you guys are actually getting a lot of stuff done. Appreciate that.
No, wasn't there some wind damage to the roof of Agriplex
That has been fixed. Fisher,
taken care of?
yep, Fisher came out and took care of that. The crow's nest, at no charge. So, we went with that. That is the other thing I was gonna ask, are we ready to move forward with the roof on the Coleman building?
There'd be no more penetrations from, they're all completely.
They're all completed. Yep,
Bath fans and all.
yep.
Okay.
And the quote did not change.
That's just to redo the flat top for 30 grand, doesn't it?
It was 42.
40 and change, 40, 45.
Yeah,
I
I have,
remember.
I just didn't grab it out of the office. But it's, yeah, it's the same that I gave you guys the last time, so. I don't know if you have that, Malcolm.
We got two
I know.
quotes. One was like 100,
What was 140?
140.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they were gonna do a lot of other build up. Well, not crickets, cause there's no chimneys, but you know,
Right.
on those slopes and from the knee walls and the parapets and all of that, they were gonna restructure a bunch of that.
Oh, yeah, right.
from west to east, cause that's where everything flows on that roof. But if the penetrations are done, and the HVAC's working, and the AC's working, and so forth and so on, in that quote, they've got another layer of our board, don't they? I might have it in my stacks of papers like that, but
Yeah.
I thought that was in their quote.
I can't remember, I don't remember seeing our
Do
board.
we have time?
You don't remember seeing it?
Did it? I think I have it right over
I
here.
think I remember going, okay, so this is just recoding basically the deal, like you said, it wasn't necessarily build up drainage and stuff like that, but I can't remember.
Yeah, that was a day or two ago, I can't remember either, but I,
Several things go.
something in my mind said that there was gonna be another, not like a regular buildup, but just, you know, inch of R or something. I can't remember. Estimate will say.
Yeah. Let's look at let me look at it, I mean, I obviously need to look at it again, I'm not sure what all they're doing, but if going forward means talking to them about starting, then yeah, but I don't think I'm ready to sign off on it yet, because I need probably 15, 20 minutes to read through the contract on the roof.
Okay. You got a copy of it?
I
You
can't
got it?
remember.
I don't think I do.
I know what I don't.
Jim just went to go get it,
Okay.
so we'll have copies here.
Oops.
Fastest minute ever. I literally just said Jim will be back in a minute. Boom.
Ryan was just up, yesterday.
Yeah, I think it was Wednesday.
So, he just said, you know, he would get on it right away as soon as he got approval. And all he'd done to the quote was change the dates.
Come again?
He just changed the date.
Okay. There's no buildup on here.
That's what I was thinking.
What's the warranty on that? 'Cause it doesn't say on there.
25 years.
Doesn't say on there.
And I actually think he went,
Upon completion, a 15-year warranty is what it's written down.
yeah, but then he came back and he said he would do it for 25, I'm almost positive. But I'll make sure that we get that on that.
Yeah, paperwork's gotta say that.
Yeah, I think the other one did.
Cause he's got his flashing and his, you know, modified roof system, his XPS, and that's just, gee, yeah. Not a true membrane, but then, you know, you're talking 50 to 70 a square foot when you start dealing with those membranes.
I know, that's what I was thinking. That's why I was thinking the 40,000 was just kind of you buy a roof with it, but it's kind of like the B-team roof.
I wouldn't care if you come back to us with another layer of R-board up there. Just for future, and that way we're done.
Yeah, what is that, run like $5 a square foot or something?
It's not that.
Yeah, not very much, yeah.
No, it's not that. And, you know, if you're gonna do it before you do all your flashings and everything else, that would be the time to do it.
Right.
So you want to have him quote that before we,
I'd like to see it, you know, and see what that does, because, you know, it would make it more complete, it would make it better for future, it would make it more energy efficient.
Yeah.
There's a lot of positives with that, plus the timing of it, as far as the roof goes. Not the timing of money, but the timing of what's needed.
Yeah.
You know, the thing of, I wish we would've, I hate that.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. It worked out pretty well for the courthouse. You know,
so if you want to check with him on that,
Okay.
Jim, and then
Cause you know what I'm talking about, right?
Warning.
What were you asking for in addition?
Insulation.
Warranty and installation?
Yeah, that other inch of R to go up there. You know, without walking that roof, I don't know how many peaks and valleys and fish ponds, you know, we'll have because of the surface of it. But the heck of it is, if you go with something like this, you'll end up with a flatter surface.
Mhm.
You agree with me, Dan?
Yep.
And the flatter that is to run, once again, roofs are made to shed water, not to hold it.
Yeah.
Oh.
So,
What's the price of it?
42,619.
I just think it's worth looking at.
Mhm.
You know, right now.
I'll give him a call this afternoon.
Do you want this back? Yeah.
No, I got one, if you need one. I think that's all we have for you. Give me for us.
Thanks for getting it. Sprinklers and everything are all working good and no
Yep.
problems there.
Shut them off yesterday and give them a day or two and kick them back on.
Wait till things thaw out.
Yeah.
Well, they'll let you know.
So we're all good.
Any other questions for Jim?
I got nothing.
Thanks, guys.
Okay, thank you.
No. No.
Okay.
Thought I had a pad up here.
I thought I had one over here.
Stolen from Laura, that's what it was, I think.
What are you looking for?
Pad, sticky notes or something. Oh, look at that.
Look at there.
I'll share my stash.
Okay, we have Platte County Economic Development on. Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
You firing off or you?
No, we can fire it.
Well, thanks for letting us take a little of your time this morning. We sent you a letter requesting a little support to help PCED. Thought we would just follow it up and kind of give you a little bit of an update of where the organization is and maybe where has been, is, and wants to be. How's that? That's kind of our,
Yeah, I think it's useful.
I have some handouts for you guys. Maybe you guys can, while I'm rambling on, you guys can kind of just glance through it. You guys may have this type of format. You guys might have some of this, but when the whole wind farm started poking around, I took it upon myself to try to educate myself on what this might look like. What should we be asking ourselves if a project of this caliber comes? You know, what are the questions we need to have? Just to try to give us a roadmap of here's what we need to see from a company or whatever, you know, like if Basin were to come in here and say, hey, we want to build another power plant in Wheeling. I have an inkling that maybe it wouldn't be as big of a pushback as say the wind farm was, but there's no difference between Basin and Nextera really, you know. We just got a little bit of a track record.
Yeah.
So I've been trying to work with our right of way guys, and like if we were gonna build a power plant in the community, what does Basin need? How does Basin approach to get the, you know, to make the project a success? So, these are just some things that I started scratching down that I thought maybe would. My ultimate goal is to work with you guys and kind of the ROI on it. If you guys were to fund us, this would be something that I would take on as a group to work with you guys. Let's build us a checklist. Let's have our group in a group, and I think somebody rolls in, if they walk in our door and ask Josephine, like, hey, we wanna build here, what do I need to do, who do I need to talk to? We're on the same page as you guys, we have a document that can start the process, and, you know, it's not a necessarily picking winners and losers emotionally or whatever. It's like, here's our document, here's what is required of you to be successful in here, and so that, I think, is where PCD is trying to get to, instead of just wishing that we'd have all these big fancy businesses roll in here and we get lots of tax revenue and this and that. We wanna be part of helping build that and be on a proactive measure versus reactive. So I apologize, guys, if some of this stuff I've shared, you guys already got in place. It's my fault for being ignorant, but these were just some ideas and very rough draft. Let's continue the talks. I want your guys' thoughts, man. We don't have to do it, but waste the commissioner meeting time, but these are some things that, you know, we'll work with Laura and planning and zoning, and let's get all on the same page and see if we can't be ready for something big to come here and we miss out because we didn't really have a plan, so.
Some of this stuff probably is gonna overlap what the division does, you know, and that's good.
Yeah.
And that's good,
Yep, this was,
because continuity is something that's easy to deal with.
right. Yeah, by no means is this, these were just things that I thought were something that we needed to talk about, and all get on the same page. That way,
Have you had a chance to look through our rules and regulations?
a little bit, but not near to the,
A lot of this stuff that I see just glancing at it, most of it's
probably in there, which is good. Yep, and like I said, it's not here to say that you guys aren't doing it or don't have it or whatever. It was just trying to, I think, formulate my own thought process, really. I was doing my own homework, and I was like, oh, this might be something that our group can help, and we're looking at doing the same thing with the city. You know, let's get everybody on board and let's get a plan and work together. We wanna be a liaison, not necessarily a pusher, but we can be, if we can help voice and answer questions and.
So I think that this might be the most apt use of the economic development's time and efforts. It's something like this where you're interfacing between us and the private sector more so than we are. We're actually very standoffish and go, okay, these are what we have and this is what it is. But I think the perspective of somebody who's going, what does a responsible development look like and how do you win it? I think that's probably, like I said, the most useful time spent, money spent. And I don't think we can do that. I actually really appreciate you putting this together because it's an outside, like I said, somebody, I actually trust you, Levi. You know, and everybody on that crew, I think that you do have good intentions and that goes a long ways. We probably should look at some of that stuff and see how it ties in, and if we are not addressing it, we should push for that. Because I see problems in how we're doing it right now. You're going, you know, it's hard, it's not hard to defend, but it is hard to defend. Why this, not this?
Right. Yeah, hopefully, you know, my position out there, I may have a little bit of insider resources to be able to help guide and direct, you know, and that was my thought. I don't expect you guys to be know-it-all on everything. It's too big, too complicated. Look at the industrial siting council, you know, what a monumental effort that is. But let's get together and work together, and we want to be here to help you guys so you're not stuck out there on the top of the knob,
On the highway.
you know, on an island. Yep. So, you know, I don't think PCD really had that in the past. We kind of wished more than let's move and get something done, so we're really trying to change our focus.
Last Friday morning, I was in Moreland finishing up with WCCA meetings, and we had kind of a session with the business council, and Josh was there and a couple of his gals. And, you know, this is the kind of thing that was talked about, among other things. You know, every county in the state's got infrastructure needs, from water to sewer to whatever, because there's been cans kicked down the road in towns throughout the whole state for a long time. Money needed, people move in, people move out, you know, it's a universal thing, you know, as far as that goes. But, you know, the three things that I took into that, and I took it away from it, is a lot of people, they consider housing in a town, that's a brick wall, we can't fix that. Infrastructure, that's another brick wall, and then amenities, that's another brick wall. And if they start turning brick walls into hurdles as opposed to brick walls, and that's what you guys are involved in doing, to me, that's not what we do, it's what you guys do. And then, you know, at the level that we can get involved, those hurdles are gonna be a little better, but the heavy lifting takes place there. But one of the things that I had a discussion with another commissioner about was, you know, jobs, housing, amenity, that kind of thing. What comes first? Who breaks the ice on that deal? That's a universal thing. It's not just to Platte County, it's everywhere, you know. This won't come without that, and that won't come without that, and this won't even think about without that. That's tough.
Somebody's gotta take the first leap.
That's just it. That's just it. You know, and this goes back to another thing that I talked about up there a little bit. We'll talk about resources. And, you know, one of the best resources that I can think of that comes out of the state doesn't come out of the ground, comes out of the houses. It's the kids. It's jobs, it's that kind of thing. My kids are old enough now, but that, you know, others are just gonna be coming into this job market. And the state and the parents and the schools do such a good job educating these kids and giving them a work ethic and giving them, you know, a lot of value for the dollar. And this is what life looks like, and this is how you do this, and this is how you do that, and this is not how you make a living, and, you know, and that kind of thing. But we end up exporting them.
Yeah.
You know, and for the future, that's gotta change. Somehow that's gotta change. I don't have a magic bullet for it. But I think that that's something that in what you guys do, that's probably part of your focus. To take the peaks and valleys out of it, you know, in the future. That's just where I'm at.
I think that's the feeling that we can all relate to, is we all want somewhere where our kids will come back to. And state programs are designed for us to work together, county and economic developments, like the Wyoming Business Ready program. You know, so many grants work where you guys come in with this, we apply through you and we can do this for economic development. You know, it's just, and across the state, you see statistically more than not, as this entity being a part of your entity. And I know we're in a little bit of, in the middle of private and public, which is not a bad place to be, but we're still figuring that out. So I think we can work really, really well together.
My request would be, as you work through our regs and try to translate them to English, is, you know, we approach it from different lenses. Yours has gotta be very much pro-development, right?
Hmm.
Theirs very much has to be, they're the regulators. And you can see them all kind of recoil a little bit when I say it, but what we always hear is that it's hard to build in Platte County. So if there's something in those regulations that appears to be not friendly to development or unreasonable to ask, I think that feedback's valuable.
Yeah.
That's something they can change. Can't change culture, can't necessarily change attitudes, but they can change regulations. Then they'll have to have that discussion of, is that responsible to change that? But my ask would be, as you work through it, just, if you peg something that looks like this, it's nuts. Tell us.
Yep.
Trust me, we've got thick skin, we can dig
Yeah.
it.
Well, it doesn't work if we aren't all on the same page.
And we've had multiple times over the years since I've been a commissioner where we reviewed the regulations. When I first started, we completely rewrote the entire regulations front to back. And then we've done sections, made changes over the years, but I don't know that PCD has ever been involved in giving input on, what we should do. And, this is the first time we've seen anything from PCD as far as, what those regulations should look like, what they should include. So I think, it'd be a good thing to get
We,
involved with that.
you guys have been generous through time, and I don't think we did our part to, give you a payback. And, we're asking again, and we all know budgets are tight, and, but we're hopeful that an investment in us this time would, something good's gonna come out, and we may land a processing facility with Wyoming Rare or whatever, a data center, but I don't wanna go push on something that's not in favor with you guys either,
No, I mean, we don't have any issues being the regulators and stuff like that. My view of private public is that private's always pushing the envelope, that they're on the let's go faster, and the regulations portion is that you should be doing that a little bit responsibly so you don't have unintended consequences on the back end. And so you guys have a history, you can pull from history where you can say these are the unintended consequences, and they end up not being good for the private party or the public party, right? That's why regulation at the end, if it's done well, it's okay, but there's an interest in both sides to not do it wrong, not screw it up. And so I think there's a lot of value in the industry side going, we'll gladly tell you what didn't work because nobody wants egg on their face. And the other thing this does is that the way we've reviewed regulations in the past has been random, neither here nor there, or maybe on purpose, but in any case, it's been a hodgepodge of, hey, let's look at it while everybody's in the room and da-da-da-da. Think through it 50 people at a time. Instead of, I think this one would go differently in that if you guys review the regulations and something that looks like this, that goes, this is how maybe we should think about this, this, and this. It would be a succinct list of we should change these 5 items. It wouldn't take very long. It would be, we wouldn't have the marathon discussion that you're trying to bring and get everybody to agree on. We can have 5 or 6, 20 bullet points to go, okay, this is what we're asking to change. Are each one of these either reasonable or non-reasonable? And say okay or no. But I think that having that from a more organized standpoint is, I'm begging for it. That's like Christmas morning. Please bring me a Nintendo. So,
Present the recommended budget this afternoon, and then, so we've got a lot of budget discussion ahead of us. Today's day 1, so we have a lot, but it goes quickly. Our budget hearing is July 7th. And so as we've got to slice and dice, we may ask you to come back, but
Okay,
appreciate
yeah, happy to.
Mull it over,
Mhm.
I'm kind of surprised it attacked you, but,
no, it was a nice attack.
Kelly, did you have a comment?
From a town perspective, having witnessed the transition from the old PCED to the new board that we have now, from a passive approach to an active approach, we've already had a meeting with PCED and our department heads looking at the same exact thing. So I think it's been extremely beneficial of them coming in, actively looking at how to help other communities in a Platte-wide perspective, including the towns. So I think that's something to consider as well, is it's a completely different perspective they're coming in with now. Before it's kind of a handoff, here's my spreadsheet. Now they're like in the weeds, in the books, actively coming in, talking to our clerks, talking to our people, and actually trying to help us out. So that's just my perspective from a town.
Yeah.
So thank you.
Kelly.
thanks, Kelly.
My perspective from the chamber, hi guys. PCD is absolutely essential to the growth or opportunities that'll be presented. I think they are, agree with Kelly, they are moving forward. They've always been moving forward, just more behind the scenes. So I don't think they give, like Levi's being very generous and very humble, and I appreciate that, but I don't have to be humble for Levi. They've done great work. They've laid the groundwork to start the processes. And with Josephine starting the A2A meetings going and getting everyone excited about that, that is also forward movement. The chamber supports PCED, and we think that that's absolutely something that you should take into consideration when funding PCED. Of course.
Yeah, we wanna get them here and then we're gonna turn them over and let Tricia
There you
take
go.
care of it.
Yeah. One more thing, I was talking to a couple of people who are just hired on at a couple of community colleges and going into their tech program or their circuits, teaching them circuits and all that stuff. And they said the community colleges have had they've done a poor job of getting instructors there that stick with it, but they're starting to get a couple more people there, and they have a lot of interest in jobs like, like the circuits and how do you maintain stuff like this is coming here. And so with talking to the companies who are like, where do you get a workforce from? It's not that we're incapable of doing it, but we're also, we have the capability and the people who are around here, and then also the community colleges are stepping up to do that because they see that coming also. I think that's a very interesting confluence of events that are going on. I think it'll work out really well if we don't bungle it up in the meantime.
Right.
Yeah, those jobs are like
Yeah, I think
$200,000 a year jobs.
There's a World War II explosion about ready to happen in this country.
Yeah.
Infrastructure build out and, I
Yes.
mean, it's coming whether we like it or not, and I just want us to be ready and be able to take advantage of it, This whole mess down in Cheyenne, and I call it a mess, but it's a good thing, right? It's economic development. It's gonna migrate north, whether it just be housing, people commuting, or I think the county ought to really be trying to take advantage of a data center. I looked at the Slater Flats, you're close to the interstate, it'd be, let's take some CRP ground and let's make it very productive. It's a big deal. And I look at it from our company, it's cell power, right? How would I love to have a 300 megawatt data center and paying the bill every month,
That's my point also, is that so you have some insurance that you keep the existing industry. This is actually not something that replaces it. This is something that goes, we're gonna shore up everything else here that's been burning coal, is what we do.
Right.
So now we have an insurance policy that goes, all of a sudden, you don't have to worry about so many regulations trying to put you out of business and losing the biggest economic driver of Platte County. Okay, so if we can shore that up with not a very big population cost, that's not bad.
Maybe unlike some of your inline customers who say, well, we want a certain amount of this to be what they call green power, I don't think they care. They just
Nobody
want
cares.
electrons.
Nobody cares right now.
Well,
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you, the amount of megawatts, they're talking gigawatts.
Yes.
Right now, just the data centers they have in applications, like 12 gigawatts of build out that they need in the next 10 years.
Easy.
Well, it's taken us 100 years to build what we got, guys, and the state of Wyoming uses like 1.1 gigawatts of power.
Oh, really? Wow.
So that's how big it is. And
The state entirely.
the whole state, if everybody had their you take about 1.1 gigs.
Not even
So
enough to
10
turn on
X the
unit
growth
3.
of the transmission system, there's not enough power plants in this nation to do what they want.
No.
But they're bringing their own, they're building their own, these nuclear reactors that they're trying to get pushed, which is gonna take time. They don't like time in the data center world. They can throw you all sorts of astounding. We bought two, sorry if I'm taking up time, but I think this is what Platte County needs to be ready for and be thinking about, but
They're still ahead of schedule.
Yeah, we're still ahead of schedule.
we expanded our Pioneer generating station up in Williston to meet our member load up there. So we bought some combustion turbines 2 years ago for $70 million. We just got them put online this year. You already see there's more data centers in North Dakota that are coming. We need to expand again. So we went and got a quote. 2 years later, they went from 70 million to 240 million.
Yeah.
And they said, get in line, you're 5 years out.
Yeah, exactly.
We're like, whoa, 3x, in 2 years. Like, what's the driver there? These data centers are buying them 50 at a time, and they don't care the price.
Okay, exactly.
When I hear that, there's money to be made. If they aren't even questioning $200 million turbines that are worth $70 million, why aren't we trying to capitalize on that money? That's huge money,
Those things are coming regardless, and if you wanna jump in the game and play, you're money ahead to do it, because those kind of outfits, they don't start off with millions, they talk about billions. And which is like kapow, but that's, I can't even imagine that. That's beyond the scope of my math.
And I look at it, if we get a couple data centers, it's gonna keep this plant in a good spot. Our biggest issue right now is we can't get the power where it needs to be. We're constrained by transmission lines.
So currently, if you could get the power where it needs to be, would the plant be running 24/7, all 3 units?
However, in danger of being alone, yeah.
Because right now, you're basically just kind of on standby, aren't you?
When the wind blows, we back off, if not come completely offline. So, and that's all due to congestion through Nebraska. A lot of our eastern load goes to Kansas City and that part of the world. We have plans to build another 345 line, actually 2 of them, one to go north, one to go east, which will open up, gives us another interstate to be able to get power where it needs to go. If we had a data center here, the power could go in. We could dump that there and then they'll take power from somewhere else.
I'm saying, is that, that would, every megawatt that's within 50 miles basically frees up a megawatt down the line to send somewhere else, is that right? Or at least, actually, it just keeps you on for, every megawatt that's set within 50 miles keeps you on permanently, instead of shedding load.
If I may,
Or shedding load.
this is the man that we all should be asking those questions to, because he's right there in the trenches. So thank you for acknowledging that it's gonna backfill, it's gonna help our power plant. Because I think that when these new energy projects come up, people worry, our community worries about our current, right? How's that gonna hurt our current? How's that gonna take away? Zane and I actually had a conversation with Levi when we took a tour about that, and about the project in Chugwater. He said it wouldn't. It's not gonna take away. So it's good, all these energy resources. And if we do it the way this is, then we don't have to worry about what president's at the White House. Because when there's certain presidents there, they bring energy back down, they limit energy production. So that's gonna be, just one of those fill the gaps for when that does happen. So I think it's very forward thinking and very positive. So again, he's at the helm there of PCD, so.
Well, one thing our group maybe gets beat up on a little bit is we live in a small town for a reason, right?
Yeah.
We don't want to be Cheyenne. Well, I think the reality is we'll never be Cheyenne. My reality or my wish is we're a 5,000-ish community that didn't really change a whole lot, but our economic value doubles or triples. We have good paying jobs for everybody here. And, we can still have 2 stoplights. We had a couple thousand people here with some good paying jobs, and next thing you know, we're tearing down old houses and putting up decent ones, and it's just, we've become a nice town, not a
And there's a place to
aging.
eat.
Right. And those things will come if that money gets into the community, So I'm not losing track of our
I think
county roots, we all live here because we like our little town. So
That's a hard game to play.
it is.
So one of the questions that we get all the time that we're really not able to answer is when we have these proposed energy projects like Chugwater project, what's that gonna do to our local electric rates?
I don't think it's gonna affect your REA rates at all. They're an IOU company, so they're playing the market, versus we have our members. That's our first, we take care of our members first. If we have surplus power, we'll go out and sell it wherever we can. one thing about, like data centers, a co-op such as ourselves, we're not gonna let the member bore that expense of them building this $1 billion facility. That isn't, you guys, anybody that's on the REA, that you bought and paid for that power plant to serve your needs. You don't have to buy another power plant to serve their needs.
You might buy
They're
a-
gonna pay their own.
You might buy a turbine for $70 million, it's gonna pay itself back. I bet you guys, the ROI on the turbines you guys bought a couple years ago, not a question. So it turns into an investment, going, we will sell you power, but we will also make a buck on it, yeah. It's another market.
That's what it is.
So, anyway, sorry to get off on a tangent,
No,
but
no.
I just see right now we're in a prime spot to maybe take advantage of some of this. Colorado, they don't wanna be down there, there's too many rules, too many regulations, it's just, they don't really have power down there. We do, we have the energy resources to do it in this state, in this community.
If we keep building projects like that, nobody will want to move here anyways for the view, so, or for the other one or two.
So, anyway, appreciate your time and hopefully we can, and you know what, guys, we'll struggle to work together with you if we don't get a little support,
Yeah.
but just, it's gonna take some resources, we need to send Josephine down and work with the business council. It takes a little bit of money to get the right people in the right room and learning and, hopefully 20 years from now, it'll be a good thing for you. Kind of a marathon, but we need to start quick. We need to sprint the first 100 yards, so.
Yeah, I agree with that, I appreciate you coming in.
Thank you, guys.
Call me
Thanks.
anytime if you guys wanna just chat. Anyway,
Will do, I appreciate that.
thanks for your time, guys.
Thank you.
Back at it.
Mike working okay?
No, he is like 2 weeks off. We just took Cheyenne, so she's in.
Okay, we'll move on to planning and zoning. Good morning, Laura.
Good morning. So, I'm just kind of wrapping up a project I got a while ago. I have Leanne with Road and Bridge here, so I'm just gonna read this one out. It's not really an application, this is more of a fix, repair, make better. So, the planning office was approached separately by Commissioner Shockley and Dan Melcher regarding a 10-foot wide additional right-of-way or access easement created along the entire subdivision frontage on Palmer Canyon Road as a condition for the subdivision created in 2007. This is the Johnston Farm subdivision, which has now become a replat of Johnston Farm subdivision, second filing. It's a simple subdivision. There is one tract involved in this. So both men wanted the planning department to do research and see if the 10-foot condition made that small portion of Palmer Canyon Road, which happens to actually be County Road 50, larger than 30-foot wide from center, so a total width of 60-foot wide for County Road 50. If the 10-foot condition creates a right-of-way larger than 30 foot from the center line, Mr. Melcher has asked that the commissioners remove the 10-foot condition so the total width of Palmer Canyon Road, County Road 50, in front of that parcel be no greater than 60 foot wide, 30 foot on each side of the center line. After much research and cross-referencing of historical road documents and reading the Wyoming territorial law on roads pertaining to all portions of County Road 50, I can say without any doubt that County Road 50 was created and approved by the Board of County Commissioners on January 5th of 1889 and is in fact a 66-foot wide or four rods wide public highway. County Road 50 was declared a public highway January 5th, 1889 with no official road width designation by the county commissioners. The field notes associated with County Road 50 also do not specify the road width until an amendment to the road was made on February 12th of 1912 near Sand Creek. This was to account for adjustments that had to be made due to Sand Creek. The county road is called a road 66 foot wide in the field notes of the surveyor. The road adjustment was done to account for Sand Creek, as I mentioned. Wyoming territorial law in 1869 and 1888 state that public highways were to be defined as being 4 rods wide. Today, we know that is 66 feet wide. The width of these Wyoming highways was generally accounted for to allow for two-way wagon and cattle traffic. That's why they were so large. This was revised when when Wyoming became a state in 1890, and the Wyoming state statutes officially made county roads a minimum width of 60 feet to 100 feet in width. If a road was going to be smaller or larger than this set width, the Board of County Commissioners had to officially declare the smaller or larger road widths. This is still true today in Wyoming Statute 24-1-105 with restrictions. I've talked with the County Attorney Doug Weaver, and he and I share the opinion that an unspecified road width will default to the shortest width as set out in the statutes that govern that particular time period. The Planning Office recommends that Condition 2 for the Johnson Farm subdivision, now known as a replat of Johnston Farm subdivision, second filing simple subdivision, have Condition 2, which states an additional 10-foot wide strip right-of-way or access easement be created along the entire subdivision frontage for Palmer Canyon Road, as approved by the Board of County Commissioners on February 20, 2007, be officially removed or deleted as a condition of the Johnston Farm subdivision, document number 575270, and a vacation and replat of Johnston Farm subdivision recorded in document number 620794, both recorded in the Platte County Clerk and Recorder's Office. If not revised, the 10-foot additional roadway makes the north side of the center line for Palmer Canyon Road for this parcel of land, which is County Road 50, to be 43-foot wide from center. The Planning Office also recommends officially declaring the entirety of all remaining portions of County Road 50 as declared as a public highway on January 5th, 1889 to be set at 60 feet wide and no longer the original 66-foot wide 4-rod designation. This would make the territorial county road a more standardized current day road within Platte County and would still meet the state statute minimum of 60 feet wide per Wyoming statute 24-1-105. This portion of the state statutes has been in place since 1890. In addition to this, it has come to the attention of the Planning Office. The Clearfield Ranch subdivision is a full subdivision located in the county. It was recorded in 2006 and is also effective if county road were not brought down from 66 feet to 60 foot wide. This subdivision was platted when the common practice by the Platte County Planning and Zoning Office and the county commissioners was to add a 10-foot additional right-of-way as land was subdivided. The assumption was all of Palmer Canyon Road was included in the Wheatland Flats County road system with an assumed width of 40 feet. This was a way to get substandard roads into compliance. Both of these subdivisions are actually on County Road 50, which is 66 feet wide and not part of the Wheatland Flats County roads that were created on March 2nd, 1904. This plat would also need to be corrected to reflect the correct road width along Palmer Canyon Road, County Road 50, if the commissioners do not change the official road width from 66 feet to 60 feet. And finally, there's a proposed simple subdivision on Sabile Creek Road, which is also part of County Road 50 that would be affected by the 66-foot wide road width. As this is a proposed simple subdivision, the appropriate changes can be made prior to approval if the commissioners do not change the width of County Road 50 down to 60 feet. With both recommendations being approved by the Board of County Commissioners, the recorded plat for a vacation and replat of Johnston Farm subdivision and Clearfield Ranch subdivision would not need to go through the process of officially amending the plats to account for the additional 3 foot of right-of-way, and the proposed simple subdivision of Sabile Creek Road would not need to be adjusted. Do you have any questions?
So basically, to make a long story short, at the time, the commissioners thought Palmer Canyon Road was a 40-foot wide easement.
They assumed it was
They
part of the
assumed
Wheatland Flats, yes,
They
correct,
didn't- They didn't have you guys doing the research to find out actually what it was.
correct.
So,
And I will tell you this, the surveyors also assume it is only 60 foot wide. So that is why these plats are getting, Clearfield subdivision, the full subdivision was platted as 60. It does make reference in Clearfield also on the back end of it, that it accounts for that additional 10 feet.
It doesn't, it's sad, but it doesn't surprise me the surveyors aren't even doing the research to look at what the road actually is. That's like that's their problem, but
So I would agree with your recommendation to make the entire length 60.
So to approve County Road 50, all remaining portions of the original declared
My
60
only,
feet
I
wide.
guess my only question is what are all the other roads that are also County Road 50?
that's what I was, yeah, exactly. So it looks like Seville.
I
Creek,
actually can
Palmer
answer that. So,
I know you.
well, I can answer, Leanne's here to help me east of Wheatland. If you go, High Tower obviously is now state. We won't go there.
But for a while it is.
For a while.
It
Let me
helps
take over.
with the visual
Yeah.
flow.
So, do you have that map, Malcolm?
We're gonna have
Yeah.
Hightower here pretty quick.
Not,
So it's-
not that portion.
Oh, not
It's
that
Ayers
portion.
Road,
Correct.
so you can see on the map here, up on the left. So,
It must fall down.
from on the west side, I-25, this is County Road 50, still, Ayers, down to, is there the next one? In this intersection, it goes 1 mile, then it goes Palmer Canyon, then it jogs, the jog's still there, goes Seville Creek, and it goes all the way down. Leanne, I don't know, I know this got changed somewhere in here,
It basically connects to,
34.
yes. Just put it that way.
So County Road 50
50.
is Seville Creek from Palmer Canyon to 34,
Mhm.
but not Seville Creek from Palmer Canyon to,
No, that is a
Pleasant Park.
that is a separate declaration that was made at 40 foot wide
But-
by the
but
Board of County Commissioners.
doesn't Palmer Canyon have its own road number now?
No,
It's always been Road 50.
County Road 52 Ayers.
Yeah, because then you've got an extra mile from Ayers to Ferguson, which is actually Wheatland Flats.
Yes, which is an assumed 40 foot wide road.
So,
I have not done that research completed yet.
so if we declare County Road 50, 60 foot wide, it'll include Seville Creek,
It's a 34.
and will that clear up the problem we're having on Seville Creek currently?
Negative
No,
Ghost Rider,
no.
no.
Negative.
No, that still needs to be replatted because, that flood 69 screwed up a lot of that road. That's a
because-
chapter for another year.
That's
I mean,
because-
day,
That's because Seville Creek's not actually where Seville Creek's supposed to be.
for part of it, yeah,
Yeah.
for portions of it. And then do you know what portions on the west side of I-25 are still technically County Road 50?
Yeah, County Road 50.
There are a few sprinkled sections,
On the east side, you mean?
yeah, that are,
Because if you picture where actual High Tower, which is gonna remain the state, and,
go east.
continue east, so what does that take? Oak?
Oak Street.
And I'd have to, well, I didn't come prepared, but I'd have to look because then it wiggles its way up for a little bit.
It would affect some roads on the east side, which Leanne and I can work together to find out exactly, or Leanne
So-
we can
so-
find out exactly which roads those would be.
So were the original Wheatland Flats roads declared earlier than that?
Wheatland's Flats was declared
1904,
in 1904.
1890 for all the other ones.
Yeah, Wheatland Flats is 19,
Because Cozad was an original Wheatland Flats road,
April 14th, 1904.
Yeah.
which was before
Cozad Road was?
we were a county, so they were, when we were part of Laramie County.
yeah, correct, but the county commissioners did do that. That is another
Part of our two.
song for a different day, actually, but we want to deal with County Road 50 right now. So the other declaration I would need for our vote would be to remove that condition 10 from that plat. Clearfield subdivision does not specify as a condition of the plat, the 10-foot, it's incorporated into the legal description of the plat. In the way that it's platted, it would be fine. But Johnston, it is a condition, the 10-foot is the number 2 condition of that simple subdivision.
So if we make the entire length of County Road 50 60 feet wide, 30 feet from the center line on both
Yep.
sides. The process to do that, Malcolm, will we have to have signatures from landowners, or,
Say that, sorry, one more time.
so if we're going to declare the County Road 50 right away 60 feet wide, because currently it's 66 feet wide,
Correct.
will we have to have any signatures or public hearing?
Public hearing on it,
Basically, we're given 3 feet back on each side.
Yeah. but, any time you vacate a right of way or alter it, there's a process in statute, and so I'd have to look at exactly what that,
So whatever that process is, we'll have to go through that process to make it happen.
so first we need a description. What, from what point to what point,
Right.
and
I have the west side and we can get the east side of the highway pretty, not too difficultly, I don't think.
And, I mean, if it follows section lines, that's one thing, but where it has curves, my question would be, do you survey it to verify that it is where it's supposed to be, so you don't have another Seville issue?
Well, that would actually fix the Seville issue,
So is,
I mean, that's about to be fixed anyway, but
yeah.
from
But the entire-
Seville going west on Palmer Canyon, is that a separate road? Number,
You mean Palmer Canyon going
west,
west of Seville?
but west of Seville.
Is Palmer Canyon Road, no, what county road is that? That's a different county road, isn't it? It's not
Well, it's
50.
Palmer Canyon Road, but
Coming off of Seville.
If you're going, so here's Seville Creek going north and south, so
when
what's
you're on
west?
Palmer Canyon Road headed west,
What's that, what county road is that called west of Seville Creek Road?
That was part of Wheatland Flats.
Weaver Flats.
so does it have a different number?
It's just Wheatland Flats.
so
So it's,
it's two separate declarations.
but it's the same road, just extended it,
What is that, like a, half and a quarter?
because it goes from Seville Creek clear to the county line.
Declared. So see where it kind of curves around up by the, on the corner? County Road 50 actually goes all the way to the corner.
County Road 167 is what continues from
Okay.
Seville all the way to the county line.
Okay.
Going west.
Yes. Yeah, sorry, now that I know what you were actually.
So it's, I mean, it's kind of confusing because we know Palmer Canyon Road is basically starting at the bus garage, going to the county line. One straight stretch and it goes east and west, but now you're telling me Palmer Canyon Road now includes Seville Creek Road, Ayers Road, Hightower Road, part of some
Technically,
roads
yes.
east of town.
Mhm.
You're just shaking your head, but I heard.
Technically,
That seems like a very safe answer.
yeah.
Palmer Canyon
Yes.
Road was created at 3 separate times or more. How's
So-
that sound?
So basically, the name Palmer Canyon Road is different than County Road 50.
Oh, yes. Yeah, because Palmer Canyon, you could technically say is like 4,
Is it 4?
4 county roads.
yes.
So does the new road start at Ayers? No. What starts at Ayers and goes east?
That's part of the original Wheatland Flats.
Okay.
That 1 mile is Wheatland Flats.
So there's a mile there, and then you go 3 miles, and then the rest is Wheatland Flats Road.
Yeah.
It's another county road, that's, yeah.
Or
Because then it goes into.
Yeah, it goes Wheatland Flats, County Road 50, then County Road, what's this?
167 is the long one.
Oh, I know
But it seems like there's like a,
from Seville Creek going west was there,
and there's a little portion
At
of
the
County
same
Road
time.
60. Yeah.
So that would,
because my granddad
I-
lived out there,
I don't know, I didn't research when that
my
one
great-grandfather.
got up and running. Do you have
Which
that one
one?
researched? West of Seville and Palmer Canyon, what was?
The 167?
so that brings up a different question when you talk process. So that first mile,
I need my glasses
are you
again.
intending to
Is it 20?
declare it 60 feet wide as well?
What is it currently?
Well, they said it's Wheatland Flats, so it'd be 40.
Assumed, it is assumed,
So then,
because
that
it
way,
was not
then you have to
specified.
have signatures from landowners.
Yeah,
Well-
because you're getting wider.
You could have signatures
Wheeling
or
lots were not specified by the Board of County Commissioners.
they could submit claims for damages.
Yeah, because you start stepping on people's,
Yeah.
you know, real estate this way and this way.
So I
Yeah,
do wanna
I
let
like
you know, Christopher with Road and Bridge and I went out 2 separate times and we went from, so the pins, the corner pins are still in the middle of the road. So we went from the middle of the road and went 30 feet, we went 40 feet, we went 30, we went 20, 30, and 33 feet. It is without a shadow of a doubt where the irrigation runs and everything, this portion of Palmer Canyon has always been 66 feet. It's black and white. When you get to the portion east of Ayers, you can kind of see where like fence lines kind of come in a little bit. But back in the day, probably people all knew that it was a public highway, it was declared a public highway at the request of a lot of people, in our territorial days, so it's always been a big road in that portion, and that's also, you can very clearly see if you stand, in the middle of Seville Creek Road, looking north and south, you can very clearly see that County Road going south is a large road, going north is a small road.
Yes, absolutely,
And they were declared at 2 completely different times,
absolutely, yeah.
so.
Yeah, because 167 was declared in 1920.
So it would clear things up. I do understand that Goshen County is, and that's why I specified in Platte County, we're trying to get ours to the 60. In Goshen County, they're trying to keep theirs at 66 to 4 rods because they have proof, that's easier for their county because they have more proof that their roads were created with the 66 and they just chose to go with the older width. I think, the state statute being 60 since for so long as a minimum for a public road it makes more sense to bring this down
So-
to the 60 and solve some problems.
So if the statute is a minimum of 60, how is Palmer Canyon 40, that first mile?
Has something to do with Laramie County.
When Wheatland Flats was declared, when Wheatland Flats roads were declared, both Leanna and I have read that, and I have not found, have you found, where they specified in the Board of County Commissioner minutes that it's 40-foot wide?
Not ours, but since those were the
Well, they
original.
were still ours, yeah, the original.
When Laramie County originally gave them to us.
When was that statute passed that declared they had to be a minimum of 60?
When we became a state in 1890. It has
So
not changed.
1904, it shouldn't have been,
Yeah, 1904 was after that, so it should have been, if that's when that original county road was declared, it has to be 60 feet.
Without specification. They could specify it smaller. But since then,
yeah,
roads have changed, and Leanne, there are some of the Wheatland Flats roads that have been declared as 40 feet.
And we have some of our other ones as well.
So, right now we have a hodgepodge, and that's a massive project, and research project to figure out. Leanne's got an amazing step up on it, cause she can she has all the 40s, but, we can make a map, we can work together and make a map, and then, but it'll be a process, when they get to this portion of the roads, hit through the county, I'm sure that will.
I don't like.
so, yeah.
So,
So this portion, so speaking about the subdivision conditions on these, it
Mhm.
actually goes from 66 feet. They assumed it was 40 to get back to 10. The 20 to 30, which makes it a 60-foot road instead of a 40-foot road.
Mhm.
They're actually taking 76 feet on the subdivisions because it's not 40, it's 66. Or you see what I mean?
They
Yeah,
took an addition.
they're actually-
Above what they,
yeah, they're.
76.
they just don't know.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right, and that's, and that's what this whole thing brought up. And it was a heck of a research project.
So
I have
have
many
you-
new friends in the Historical Documents Department of Laramie County.
Have you talked to Mr. Melcher about what you found?
Yes, yeah, he was unable to make it today.
That's okay. I mean, I think that it's pretty cut and dry, to me anyways. I don't care one way or the other. especially if that thing is 66 instead of what they're thinking about 40 feet. Well, yeah, how easy is it to get rid of the condition that makes it an extra 10 foot? You know, is that just a motion from us? Or a letter from the, I mean, I would assume you have to have some consent.
The way the plat stands, the recorded plat stands, it would not have to be re-recorded, thankfully.
So we can make a motion to remove the
Condition two
condition
of,
two of both subdivisions.
correct,
They're both condition two.
yes.
Is that,
One, it fell on top of it.
I thought you said Clearfield did not have that.
Clearfield does not have it specified in their conditions, but it is notated, just like Johnston is, that they're allowing that, 10 foot to make a 60-foot right of way. The way it's worded, it's about here.
so if it went to court, it wouldn't stand up in court anyways.
What the,
That condition that says we need an extra 10 to make 60, they said you don't need the extra 10 to make 60 because you have 66. And the court would go, okay, so you, that document actually would support them saying it is a 60-foot road because we've agreed, they've agreed, then they also, at the end of the day, we wanted a 60-foot road and we've got a 66-foot road. So that condition doesn't make any sense. I don't think it would stand up in court.
So in her recommendation, it says that condition number 2 of the Johnston Farms subdivision be removed.
and a replat, there's two of them on there. The condition carried over onto the replat in the Board of County Commissioner minutes. When they replatted
But
the
there's no-
subdivision.
I thought you said Johnston Farms does not have to be re-recorded.
Neither of them have to be re-recorded, but the condition number 2 that you read, Carrie, you only read one of the subdivisions. They replatted it.
Well, so I think what Steve was asking was the
Oh.
Clearfield Ranch
I'm
subdivision. Does not have a condition that needs to be removed.
correct.
So
it is the one,
a suggestion, and somehow I have to translate this to minutes, would be a motion to approve the planner's recommendation. That to me would indicate that you're removing the requirements that were placed as condition number 2 for Johnston Farms, and it would be an indication that Road and Bridge and the planning office can start the process to
Change.
dedicate the road to be 60 feet rather than 66. The only question I still have is that first mile, do you want, the way I kind of pictured it, to clean it up somewhat, is you would survey from bus garage to High Tower, dedicate 60 feet. You would survey Sebille, dedicate 60 feet, Ayers. So it'd be 3 separate documents to avoid that confusion. Then you would just get rid of County Road 50,
yeah.
and you'd have these 3 county roads which are currently in existence. That'd be my suggestion
And
to
it
make
doesn't affect County Road 167.
And you believe 167 is 60 feet wide?
It goes to 100 feet at some locations, actually.
But at no point is it less than 60?
No.
Okay, so
Leanne, did you forget your switch this morning?
I know.
that's why
I'm like,
my
wait, part of that is 100 foot wide on the.
Notice she got out of my.
She started sitting forward.
And I should have said
Stupid.
High Tower, I should have said Sebille, but that's why my
Yes.
suggestion is from the intersection of frontage and Ferguson and Palmer Canyon to Sebille and Palmer Canyon, that's one survey document, 60 feet. Sebille,
Path test. Well,
Yeah.
that, I think that would clear up some of that confusion.
So here's my next question. As much as I gripe about the surveyors, the continuity between County Road 50 and then 3 or 4 county roads that also either share a different name or are whatever, that big kerfuffle. Does that make the continuity, make it harder to trace back for surveyors who already have a hard time figuring out whether or not if they're in the right county?
Right.
See what I mean? like changing from County Road 50, we have 100 years of documents that show
So
County
the-
Road 50.
Yeah, that's a good question. I do it a little different than some of my predecessors.
Okay.
So I record it in your minutes and in the land records.
Okay.
So I prepare an order that goes in the land records, which, and it would reference the County Road 50 is hereby vacated and replaced.
There is County Road 50 on the east side, I-25 still.
Well, County Road
Okay.
50 from this point to this point.
Okay.
Right.
But yes.
Yep. Okay,
The confusing thing is County Road 50 is made up of multiple county roads.
exactly. Yeah, so from point to point makes sense, and then it would make our continuity a little bit easier if we vacated and reassign a county road name to it.
And all this got fired up over 10-foot right away.
Yeah,
So
yep,
if you wanna,
Wasn't that the point of origin?
that's exactly right.
this is for your peace of mind. So this is Clearfield. So where they came up, this did not have the condition on it like the other two.
All
But
those
they
worms
were
tasting, I see you opened up
platted,
another can.
they were,
It's
this is where they're dedicating the 30-foot. That's how they got, this is how they, each of these put in there, and that would not be standard today.
Okay.
So that's how they said, oh, we're gonna give this much land for a public road. These are the Johnston and the replat. But this had the condition attached to it in 07. This was 06, and this is how they got around. And this is how they satisfied, the
Legality.
subdivider satisfied the county.
It'd be nice if we could do some kind of a blanket motion that would cover the entire county, every county.
I love that plan. How about you? Every road counted, every 60 foot.
Does that mean then we can force everybody to move their fences back that are on the narrow roads? That would be awesome. We could actually widen our roads then.
If we got money,
Yeah, as I say, that takes money.
Uh-huh.
Mm,
so, yeah, you're not gonna see things like this nowadays. And, on all of these plats, anything that I've seen platted on Palmer Canyon, which is these three, and the Seville Creek, only reference the name of the road. They don't actually call it the County Road 50.
that's
They're
'cause
calling
they're
it the
not doing
actual,
their job well.
they're not known as, well. So, all right,
Frustrating.
Bless you.
So, Malcolm,
Your recommended motion was
To approve the planner's recommendation,
for County Road 50.
and then your discussion gives us the intent that your survey will start from
yeah,
Ferguson
Ferguson,
and go west.
go to Seville Creek.
west of Seville Creek.
To Seville Creek.
I,
Keep it simple.
And I don't think that has to be part of your motion. I'm saying your discussion
Right.
gives us your intent there.
right, so I would move
I'm
to
not sure on that one. That's why.
accept the planner's recommendation in regard to County Road 50.
I'd second it.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded to accept the planner's recommendation in regard to County Road 50. Is there any further discussion?
And our intent would be to survey the road from Ferguson is the starting point on the east to the end point being Seville Creek on the west. And establish a county road 60 foot wide in keeping with standards in the statutes of the state of Wyoming.
And that Seville and errors would be prepared as separate.
Yeah, and Seville, exactly, Seville and errors would be included, although maybe not right now. So that's our intent, that's the discussion.
Well, they're gonna have to, because if you vacate County Road 50, you gotta have something to replace them.
Yes.
But we get the mission.
There you go. Yep.
Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
So those two conditions are now not.
so condition number 2 is gone.
Your recommendations stand.
Thank you. I will call Mr. Melcher and let him know that the plats that are already recorded are accurate and that the condition's been removed.
Quit bugging me.
It's not, he has actually not been
And
bad.
currently, the county road is 66 foot wide,
I already told him.
and they're gonna reduce it to 60 foot.
So you got 16 feet out of it there.
So, you ready for the next one?
Yeah.
Please.
Please,
Lay it on.
you're gonna say no. I'm gonna put before you signed approved plat. On May 13th, 2006, the planning office received an email for a building certificate and address with a photo of a plat. After doing some research, I found that the plat was approved on June 18th, 2024, and the final signature on the original Mylar was obtained September 17th, 2024, but the fully signed Mylar was never recorded in the Platte County Clerk's Office of Land Records. Per our rules and regulations, which I have stated below, if you want me to read them, I can, but the gist is, this plat expired over 12 months ago, once the final, However, an extension by the Board of County Commissioners would allow the planning office to record the approved and signed Mylar in front of you today without having the client go through the entire process of reapplying for this simple subdivision. There are 2 addresses that have already been assigned by the planning office. Those addresses were included in the building certificate's fee and were issued to the client on July 2nd of 2024 prior to the subdivision approval and recording. The addresses for tracks 1 and 3 have been assigned incorrectly as 565 and 565B South Guernsey Road. As you can see on that plat, all 4 of those lots have to have Liberty Place as their addresses. Liberty Lane, sorry. The client's agent, Aaron Goodman, has reached out to the people currently living in those 2 homes, and they are willing to get corrected addresses after the plat is recorded. As this is a planning office error, there will be no charge to the client for either readdress. The assessor's office would prefer to have the addresses corrected to remove any issues in the future, and I have talked with the assessors, and they are very excited that we can fix this problem. In addition, if the plat is recorded today, Aaron Goodman will be applying for an address for another tract. They're getting ready to build another house inside the subdivision, so it would be another Liberty Lane address. Planning office recommends approving an extension for the Stump Fluke Acres simple subdivision through May 20th of 2026, so tomorrow, as allowed by our Platte County land use rules and regulations. This extension would allow for the planning office to record the original signed Mylar in front of you following the meeting today. The client has prepaid for the recording of this plat with the clerk's office as of May 14th. That's all I have. Do you have any questions?
I don't. So basically, filing of the plat fell through the cracks when we didn't have a plan,
I would assume yes.
so.
That would be what
That's what it looks like.
I would recommend. So I think this is in the best interest of the client,
Yeah,
their
everything's-
representative, the people living in the home. We can, and very happy and thankful that people are gracious enough to let us fix their addresses too. So,
Is the motion correct? Yes. I would move to approve a 1-year extension for the final plat of the Stealth Fluke simple subdivision to be recorded
nope, sorry. Has to be an extension through
through
May 20th.
May 20th, I'm sorry.
2026. Sorry, 1 year won't cut
2026,
it.
yeah.
It'll
Sorry.
still be short. That's okay.
Wait.
The extension has to be through May 20th of 2026.
So the motion would be moved to approve an extension to
Oh,
May.
yeah, the way I drafted it, I was taking it as a year from today, that they would have a year from today to have it
No,
recorded.
it's going straight upstairs.
We could make it just as easily 1 year from today and you sign it. But I'm good with that, so I changed the motion to extend it to May 20th, 2026. As long as Laura can make it upstairs.
Thanks, Ian.
Thank you, Kevin.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded to approve a
She may not.
extension to May 20th of 2026 for the final plat of the Still subdivision to be recorded. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you so much, and
You never know
because this
who's
is
gonna-
already signed, I'm gonna have you sign that piece of paper so I can put it in the
You got
subdivision.
24 hours to get upstairs.
Somebody might find you before here and there.
24 hours to get upstairs.
She may not make it out of it.
You guys keep Leanne, give you a head start.
I mean, that's what you
Thank you very
Leanna,
much.
are
I
you the
will
one I'm
let the
worried
client
about
know.
catching her?
I really
Maybe.
appreciate it. I gotta go, you stay here.
Yeah, no.
What else do you have for us?
I have absolutely nothing for you. Thank you so much. Do you have anything else for me?
No.
All right,
Thanks.
Thank
Thank
you
you.
very much.
Oh, no.
We have our county assessor, but we'll wait till Commissioner Baker gets back.
I appreciate you approving that extension. I didn't want to have two addresses on one side of the road, one and then the other side different.
Well, maybe a different road.
It may be different, exactly. You never know.
And a different way.
Yeah. I think that actually is the case. North half of town, north half of 16th, and a different width and a different road. Or at least owners.
Well, the interesting thing is that the common way to come to town 100 years ago was
Yeah.
from Seville Creek, you came down Palmer Canyon to Ayers, and then you went to Hightower, and then
Yeah,
on into town. And
Yeah.
today you come straight on in.
yeah.
Used to go. And a lot of people came from Fletcher Park area used to come down to Hightower, come to what we always called Towers, but now they go on.
Yeah, West Fairview. Mhm. Yeah.
Ex-council.
Yes, but if you already signed the plat map, then I was not the first to require your signatures, so
Well, but you're gonna win the award for the most.
Yeah, that's the problem.
I feel like I typically do.
Clerk to sign.
Need a new pen?
All right, we're dealing with 3 accounts, but just a couple tax years worth for them. These are just a couple things that slipped through the cracks. On account P10808 for Brett and Norman Reese and Cheryl Zimmerman, we are going to cancel the tax bill for 2024 in the amount of $530.62. And for tax year 2025 in the amount of $465.89. The personal property on there was being taxed under a different entity's name.
Okay.
Then the next 2 are both under Huff Holdings LLC. And we are canceling the tax bills for account M6335 for tax year 2024 in the amount of $32.70 and tax year 2025 in the amount of $24.38. The mobile home was destroyed. We need to cancel those. And then we are also issuing a refund for the first installment of tax year 2024 as it was paid in the amount of $16.35. And then account number M2085. We are canceling the tax bill for tax year 2024 in the amount of $73.58 and tax year 2025 in the amount of $54.46. This mobile home was also destroyed. And issuing a refund for the first installment of tax year 2024 in the amount of $36.79. Tearing it down,
Tear it down.
dismantling it.
In a different part of the country.
It could be tornado, I know,
Yes.
that's what I was thinking. I would,
It was
Yes, sir.
decommissioned.
so I'd move to approve the tax cancellations and refunds as the assessor has presented.
I would second that.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded to approve the tax cancellations and refunds as the assessor has presented. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
I do have something else that I wanted to discuss with you. I am sure that you have already probably heard about the State Board of Equalization proposing litigation against the 4% cap. Jeremiah, myself, and Dixie, the Converse assessor, met with the governor's chief of staff on May 8th to discuss our concerns about kind of living in an unknown world about what's gonna happen with our certification for this tax year. We are still left in the unknown, but we kind of got some assurance that they're gonna do their best to make sure that all of our values are certified as it stands. They have concerns about the whole state's residential values just because of that 4% cap. Really won't know anything. We have a meeting, the assessors have a meeting with the State Board of Equalization on June 11th. And hopefully we'll get some more information then, if not sooner. They did say maybe by June 1st, we might also know some more, but we'll see. They did also make the comment to me that the assessor that has their first abstract, which is June 15th, their abstract hearing, then we will also know how that's gonna go. So we're just kind of living in a world of wait and find out. And so,
Can't do anything about it even before it happens.
yep, so we're just gonna move forward as business as usual and present our full values for certification.
Business as usual till it ain't,
Correct.
and you don't control the game.
Nope, we've done our best to try to stay in contact with the state board and be aware of what's going on and.
That's all you can do.
Jeez, that is a lot of signatures.
That's why I think you need a new pin.
Yeah.
That's all I've got then.
Thank you, Denise.
Right,
Thanks.
Thank you.
Okay, we have Robert Hilty on our agenda to discuss the fire ban. Morning.
Morning. So Robert came to me last week, I think. They're all running together now, so couldn't tell if it was yesterday or 2 days ago, but
Yeah.
his business, Western Building Supply on North Road, is just in the unincorporated areas, and so it's under the jurisdiction of your fire ban. They have an incinerator for their scrap, and he'll be able to talk to it more eloquently, but essentially requesting that either they have an exemption or that the fire ban be looked at. When I was talking with him, it has always caught me, that piece that says from 6 PM until 8 AM, you could have an attended refuse fire with spark arrestor 10 feet away from vegetation. And I thought it must have been a typo. I talked to Steve, and the intent is that's the highest humidity, lowest temperature point, right? But it's also the time at which your firefighters are sleeping.
Yeah.
So your fire danger is lowest, but your response is
Yeah, the question is who's attending these fires at midnight?
very high, yeah.
Yeah.
And so,
High school park.
Yeah,
I
I actually think that most like nighttime fires are probably attended if they're big enough.
but
Depends on
anyway,
how much beer's around.
so I asked Jamie to come. I think Jamie wants to talk about it in general as well, but I think that's something that we probably should either add to an exemption or clarify that section. So that's why we're here.
I visited with several of the fire chiefs this morning and they would like to leave the fire ban as is rather than try and take it out, put it back in if it gets dry, just
Okay, yeah.
maintain the
Yeah.
call thing.
Yeah.
As far as an exemption, I went and looked at their burn deal. It's a heavy plate on top and it has 3 smokestacks that are screened. So,
It's a,
So it's, basically, it's not any different than if I would start a fire in the wood stove in my house.
probably more intense of a fire, but yeah, the same theory behind it is
Yeah.
it's,
I guess if you had a huge house and needed to
Yeah.
really heat it,
how,
and it has a grate in the bottom and draws air through the bottom to burn it.
how tall is the stacks and stuff?
I got a picture of it, if you want to see it. Not a great picture, but it's a picture.
Oh, is it 12 feet?
12 feet?
Probably,
Yeah.
yeah.
So,
So that when when we were doing waste gas stuff for like refineries and whatnot, like oil filled methane they were burning off, it was like 10 feet. And they didn't have spark arresters, but it was also natural gas. It didn't have any ashes or anything like that, but what we were going for was like at least 10 feet stacked. I mean, looking at it, I'm going, there's no difference between that and something else. It actually was pretty well done.
it's in a pretty clear area and it's behind their building, so the predominant wind would push anything onto the gravel.
Yeah, that's, it was kind of like, you know,
That's why I wanted to go look at it this morning, I was like, just see what it is.
yeah.
So when you said you talked to the fire chiefs and they don't want to change the fire ban, meaning they don't want us to take it off and.
Right, take it off and then put it back on, and
Yeah.
I think that would cause more confusion than just calling in if you're gonna do a burn.
I think people are actually kind of, I mean, that system works now, right? It's, everybody understands it and they're used to it and they go, okay, it's probably a good idea.
So Jamie, would you recommend the next time we take the fire ban off, before we reinstate it, we adjust that section that calls for that time frame when you can burn? Because I've always had questions kind of about that, because everybody that's burning is burning during the daylight hours when they can see what's going on, they know what's going on.
The theory behind it is if you're burning in a grass area, the humidity's supposed to be higher, there's supposed to be less potential for fire.
And you can see a fire starting outside of where you're, that's what it's been for me, is like you can see a spark go somewhere.
Most people that burn their trash either burn it in the evening or in the morning,
But not before 6 or 8 at night.
8 at night, yeah. I think
I
it's
mean-
6 at night, 8 in the morning.
To me, I think you're foolish to start a fire at 8 at night.
Yeah, it's 6 PM and 8 AM, so.
But, I mean, if I'm gonna burn something, I wanna start it first thing in the morning, so by dark.
It's done,
Yeah, it's
yeah.
done.
Yeah. We can adjust it, it's just always
And
been
that's
in there as a way.
And that's something we can talk about next time it comes up. if we
Yeah.
mess with it this time. But to solve Robert's problem, we would just have to, how would we add an exemption for him without having it on fire ban?
I think what you do is you just make a motion to authorize an exemption to the fire ban, provided that Western Building Supply follow all the requirements in item 2, with the exception of the timeframes. So essentially, Western Building would have an exemption. They'd have to follow everything in number 2, except they could burn during daylight hours.
Except to 60, yeah.
Yeah. Does that seem like it will work?
That works for us,
Okay.
yeah. The night thing really don't work for us, cause I mean, we go home at 5, we
Yeah.
get in at 7.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna, it's not really feasible to have somebody overnight there.
Not something that you would roast, hot dogs on.
Well, and you've got somebody
You could.
running in and out of that building, whether you're there, Bruce is there, whoever, all day long anyway.
Yeah, I mean, we got 30 people who work there, so
Yeah.
I mean, it's
Yeah.
well attended in the daytime.
Yeah.
So what's the entity? What's the entity that would have an exemption?
Under Western Building Supply.
Western Building Supplies, that's the name of it?
Yeah.
So I would move that Western Building Supplies is exempt from the time restraints on item 2 of the fire ban continuation resolution only, and that they still comply with burning inside of a container and have spark arresters specifically in the what do you guys call it, furnace, waste furnace, something like that? The waste incinerator.
Yeah.
If that's like mud, I'm not sure what it is.
Then I also have, with that picture, my DEQ approval exemption for burning too, which I
Okay.
applied with
Yes.
them and got, so.
Okay,
On there. Yeah, I would second that.
Okay, it's been moved and second to approve an exemption for Western Building Supplies to burn outside the hours of 6 PM, 8 AM, as outlined in the fire ban. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
I,
Motion carries.
Cause you're just mostly burning like truss tail cutoffs and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
All that other lumber costs you dang much to put in.
Anything long enough to use.
We're not doing it for the fun of it.
What's that?
We're not doing it for the fun of it.
No.
You could bundle all that in a bundle and set it on the front of the fabric down there and sell it for $10 a bundle.
Yeah, yeah, there's been a lot of people who suggested that, but it's, there's legalities and problems with that, but
yeah,
Do you need this paperwork back?
no.
I appreciate you coming in.
Yeah.
It's not a big ask at all, it's the right thing to do. You guys have done a very good job in doing that stuff, so I appreciate it.
Yeah, and it's in a good place, so.
Yeah.
So it would look like still a phone call in to clarify, or not? No?
Nope.
Okay.
You should have a,
You are able to burn inside a container with spark arresters.
Okay.
You know, when he originally came in, I thought he already qualified, because I thought number 2 allowed it. The only issue is the time frame.
Yeah.
Because otherwise he's complying with it completely.
it's just a
It's just a
time
time
frame.
frame.
So when we're asking these people to call in and get permission from their fire wardens or fire chiefs in their area, if they go between 6 PM and
Yeah,
8 AM, they don't have to do that.
If they're burning their trash or whatever between 6 PM and 8 AM, they don't need permission. It's the large piles they're burning during the day that they're calling in. for.
Absolutely, which are silly. Let it sit.
We had one person that called in and said they were burning some sticks, and when I went out and looked, it was
They were that big.
house logs and trash that they were burning. And they had spot fires starting in the grass like 20 or 30 feet from the main fire. It was like, that's not just sticks. That's
Dude, not everybody deserves to have a lighter in their hands.
exactly. That's why you put it to the fire chiefs because they know their constituents. better.
Exactly, yeah.
So.
Yeah, when I
it's-
call Steve, he goes, absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Absolutely not. Every time I go to a fire, it's in your area.
I know.
It's in your house.
It's in my house, even better. Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Thank you, Robert.
Yeah.
So did you guys get the email with the MOU or
Yes,
annual operating plan? Did you read it?
yes.
Yes.
Okay, because it asks for a signature of, I believe it's the president of the board.
You're the president now.
Chairman of the Platte County Commissioners.
Well, we couldn't get that lucky.
So
Do we need a motion to approve
that's,
this MOU?
I think so, yeah.
Which is
We haven't
basically
passed.
the same one we've done every year.
It's the same one you've done every year. They changed the wildfire service, the front page on the exhibit B. They added the United States Wildfire and Fire Service.
Yeah.
Instead of the BLM. It shouldn't change how we operate.
Right.
This year. Next year, we'll see.
Once they get their feet under them.
But I wanted to make sure you guys had a copy of the whole thing, not,
What's it called? AOP?
it's the annual operating plan, yeah.
Firelands or wildlands?
Wildland fire, AOP.
So. I would move to accept and allow the chairman to sign the Wildlands Fire Management Operating Plan. Is that correct?
Yep.
I think that's it,
It's our annual operating plan.
yeah, for 2026, let's say that.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded to approve the annual wildland fire management plan for 2026. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Motion carries.
everybody should read that document, actually. It's a good one to read.
It is.
Yeah.
And I hadn't read it for several years, so I went back and read all of the document, and I called State Forest and I says, can I have a copy of that? Well, we're just using the old one.
Yeah.
So I ended up making my own.
We're saving trees so we can burn them down.
Yeah,
later.
exactly.
Burn them down later. Thank you very much.
Real quick, Jamie, before you take off, do you have an update on any progress on the?
They're doing technical drawings for the foundation right now. Kent is supposed to get back to me with a site plan, and once we get the technical drawings, we'll get permits from the city. So it's moving forward.
And what is the estimated time of construction?
Haven't ever nailed him down on a estimated time for construction there. And I'm still working with the FAA on the difference in the height between the 55 and 75 foot towers.
Well, we didn't extend, or he didn't throw out that, wasn't it a 10-week thing from when you hit the go button? Did
Yeah.
you say 10 weeks?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
he's supposed to be getting back with me with a detailed construction plan. I emailed him again this week, so we'll see.
Oh, that 10 weeks, that was just to mobilize, to have that antenna immobilized, that wasn't the,
That wasn't construction
That's
at
what I
all,
thought.
that's just 10 weeks from getting it from the company. Once he ordered it, it was 10 weeks out getting it from the company to get it here.
Okay.
because this is part of our coordination with phase 2 as it comes around, and you're well aware of that.
Yeah.
That's the thing, is you can't put the tower there before we reface this side.
Well, if it's far enough away, they can still get their 6x scaffolding in there.
But the thing is we want the tower there with everything off the roof before they do the roof.
It actually works perfect if they repoint this side before the tower.
Mhm.
The way they're phasing it is they'll do the exterior renovation, and when they clear that side, then they'll do the roof. And what we've talked to them about is some options for that north roof, should this be delayed. The hope, I think it lands perfectly,
I like your story better.
but
You tell it how you want it.
they do, if they repoint this side first, there'll be no interference with scaffolding or anything.
Yeah.
And then when they go to the roof,
And then while they're working their way around, we get the tower put up.
right,
Yeah.
Mhm.
And by the time they're done, all the way around, the tower will be up, everything will be off the roof, and good roof.
Yeah.
Very good.
everything
That would
but,
be
just to
next.
clarify, everything but the internet tower. That will stay up there, it just moves back 5 feet.
Yeah.
And that's,
But that's the
Therefore,
non-penetrating mount.
Right.
It's up there.
Sandbags.
and that'll be a lift. Mountain West requested 2 days to be able to retune everything and get it moved back in service, but
But, like we talked about in the beginning, you're only gonna move it once.
Yep.
It's, instead of move it and then move it back.
so if we don't get to the north side, like if there's some delay, the only piece of the roof that would not be touched is the north side. Worst case scenario is it could be done in the spring 27. That's not what anybody wants, but that's worst case.
And if it leaks, your office is a mess, right?
That's
Yeah.
It's Mona.
Mona.
The judge.
Yeah,
Well, in that part, up there doesn't have all the HVAC stuff on it as much anyway as the south end does, so, it's not as heavy a lift, if you will,
Right.
to get that done as the south wing does.
Yeah, okay.
but I still think the timing works perfect.
So they still want to leave the internet stuff on the roof, not put it on the new tower?
Eventually, look at putting it on the tower, but I think time-wise, it's just not going to work. We're gonna be in a rush to get the radio equipment over.
Well, and the reason I'm asking is the height of the antennas. If they're gonna move it eventually to the tower, I wanna pull those antennas down a little bit so that internet deal would be clear.
I think.
And if we get the 75-foot tower, we'll still have plenty of height to reach everybody.
But you're still waiting on FAA, right? And
Yep, I was in contact with them yesterday and They have completely different hours than we do.
You're still on hold?
Huh?
You're still on hold?
Yeah, they work on the East Coast, so.
Does the word federal have something to do with that?
Yeah, no joke.
Yeah. I've emailed him like 3 times and been on the phone or called him 3 or 4 times and never have gotten a call back, so.
Where's Wyoming? He's looking at that, like,
Yeah.
where is that?
That's
Well, even the guy in Denver goes, you're gonna have to deal with the main office in the East Coast, so.
Oh, thank you very little.
Thanks.
It's like dealing with the railroad.
Huh?
It's like dealing with the railroad.
Yeah, a lot.
Is it the FAA and the FCC you have to deal with, or just the FAA?
Just the FAA. The FCC, the Absolute Solutions will go ahead and
Ah,
permit it.
very good.
So,
They've already greased the wheels.
yes. I've already visited with the FCC about it. They were like, well, just have the contractor do it. Okay.
All right, I like your stuff.
Yeah, I like that.
Thanks, Jamie.
You bet. Thank you
We
guys.
have Jordan here to give us an update.
How are you guys?
Good, how are you?
Good, thanks.
Thanks for being early. Fits in just well.
Hey, I always try to be about 15 minutes early, you never know. Might be early, might be late, but rather keep things moving if we can for you guys. The first thing, I was talking to Jenny the other day, they've got new fairground software for fair. And need to be able to use it between her, at her office and, Ag Extension. Problem is the way the software works, it's not cloud-based like the previous one was. It needs to have data in a central location where both can access. And
Server.
kind of big, something
A hard
along
drive.
those lines. But there's no communication between the buildings, there's no, they're not fully on, nothing out there is on the network fully here. They have some VPN access, but that's about it.
So there's still 2 cans in a string.
Basically, yeah. So between talking to Jenny and she got a number for another gentleman I talked to, they used they used another solution that doesn't sound like it would work very well for us because it only allows one person to be able to use it at a time. Whereas in talking to Jenny, everybody needs to be able to use it at the same time. So really the only, which is something that we've been looking at anyways, is getting that stuff, everything out there linked in and onboarded. Just like we basically did for the library. The thought process on that would be, because of where the tower is out there and the trees, it doesn't have a direct line of sight to the courthouse. So, in looking at everything, the building Jim's office is in does have a direct line of sight. They already do connect back here for regular internet to Mountain West. So if we were to put a link out to Jim's building on board Jim's, that whole portion of things, then we could either trench or put another wireless link in to the Agriplex, and then they would be connected. Then I'm not even sure, I don't think there's ever been any discussion on whether or not we would roll Ag Extension in to at least provide network connectivity for stuff like that. That would be kind of the secondary part to that is, if it's something that we would even consider. I know it sounds like I know they have just basic Mountain West internet out there, and then I believe all their devices connect back to the state with the VPN. So in theory, this would all be possible. There was one other option of potentially putting them on VPN access also, but where they already use a VPN, it sounded like the state was, you don't normally use 2 VPNs at the same time because they create tunnels and then you have all sorts of problems, or, trying to go to resources that's out this one, but it's actually attempting to go through this one instead. And being that they're computers that aren't, fully managed, it'd be better that they were on their own, network, just like every other department is. But in order to, for them to even potentially use the VPN deal and get to the software, they'd have to turn off their VPN for the state. Connect to the VPN for our side of things, open the software, use the software, close the software, disconnect the VPN, reconnect. And if they're going back and forth from their tasks all day, I don't see that as a very workable solution for anybody, honestly. To be, every time somebody walks in and needs something with the fair software, they've got to, spend 10 minutes of their time, closing everything that they're doing down and opening it back up. This doesn't seem very efficient at all. And I was talking to Malcolm before this already. I was gonna put a supplementary deal in the budget because I completely didn't think about it when I was building the budget to onboard the arena building and the agriplex. The kicker is they kind of need this before then, and I'm not even sure how feasible it will be as a whole to get done before they need it, even if we go that route, because some of it's specialized hardware with the point-to-point links, and they're not always in stock, and the time it's gonna take, we're gonna need somebody to once again mount and help tune the point-to-point links and whatnot, so availability from somebody else. We may need a couple extra cable runs here and there. Maybe a bunch of extra parties involved that we would need to work with, and I believe it was July 10th or something you guys are starting, or when would you guys need it? I don't
Our
remember the
entry's
date.
open on the 1st of June and
First.
end on July 10th.
Be like 15 grand.
It would be about, that's my rough estimation of about where we'd be sitting between the point-to-point links. And if we do it, then we have to also replace access points and stuff inside. So it would be probably, if we were to fully onboard the agriplex, it would probably be more, but we could get them back to the same or better state than they are with what they have right now. For
Is that
about
vendor
much.
inclusive, that amount, or no?
It's hard to say. My plan for the mounting and tuning of the point-to-point links was to call BJ and see. He may not be too concerned about that part. He might just be willing to help, but I can't promise that. Any low voltage cabling obviously would be something else entirely, which I don't normally deal with. Jim calls him, so I don't know what his pricing normally looks like, so it's hard for me to say what he would charge. I wouldn't think we would need a lot of runs, but hardware wise, including ag extension, I think we would be at about that 15,000 mark, plus then labor, so it would be, since it's not something that's already covered, it would be covered after that, but.
So basically, you're asking us to approve the project. We don't know how much it's gonna cost. We don't know how much time it's gonna take to do it.
So I guess in a way, my more pressing question, is it something that's even something we can consider more so before we,
I would ask.
put a lot of time and effort?
The beginning of this thing came from when they changed software for the 4-H, and so was that part of the Fair Board's consideration, was getting the software usable? Or are they okay with you guys doing the process of changing VPNs and whatnot?
So originally it was the understanding that it was like the other software. It was a few things after it was already purchased that we were finding out that it does not work like Fair Entry did.
How much did it cost?
$4,000. But it saves us money in the long run because it's cheaper per year than Fair Entry was. And the big reason why we switched was 85% of fairs across the nation use ShowWorks, and it's a lot more user and
operator friendly than Fair Entry was. We were having a lot of issues with people not being able to register and stuff. Not only that, there's only 3 counties in the state of Wyoming that still use Fair Entry. Everybody else used ShowWorks, so it was really nice to have that support system if we needed help or we had questions. We had lots of people to reach out to for help with the program that everybody else was using.
So what happens if we say, yeah, go ahead and do it, but we can't even get it done by then?
So we have a plan B, if that's the case. I mean, we're gonna have to buy USB sticks and a bunch of them and just keep every day. If you work on something, you're gonna have to save it to the USB and bring it. My computer is what they call the mother computer. So anybody that works on ShowWorks is going to have to save their data file to a USB and bring it to my office, and I'm gonna have to export it to the mother computer and then give them back their USB. And then if they do something else, they're gonna have to bring it over and we're gonna have to export all the information.
And when you say somebody else, how many somebody else's are there?
There's 4 other computers that the extension office has, or 3 other computers, sorry, that the extension office has with the licensing on it. So those computers will be used for extension staff, livestock sale committee, superintendents, whoever needs to be on the program during a show or whatever.
Is there a common network? There's not a common network out there, whether
No.
it's Wi-Fi or anything else.
No, every single one of them is separate and so separate in such a way that they're all separate internet services. They're
Wow.
not tied together in any way, shape, or form.
So you can't tie back to a common hard drive or location like a shared drive, no matter what?
No, we
Like
would,
through
there would be,
HTTP or something like that?
no, we would, in order to do that, it'd have to be a local network. So there would need to be connection at minimum between, the Agriplex and Ag Extension.
The other thing from my end of things, I was under the assumption that we were already on the network from 4 years ago when everything took place, because I have access to the file share and all of the employee handbook and all of that stuff like everyone else. I just, excuse my ignorance, don't know enough to realize that I wasn't already on the county network.
So which
Jenny's
would you-
computer is just not, because we've never been able to get approval to actually onboard or finish the network and stuff out there. We've talked about it a few times over the years, but there's never been this money available, or nobody's ever been able to decide exactly where it was getting paid for, who was paying for it.
Yeah.
Help me understand something, Jordan, because, you know, you get off in this lingo land of beating it, I'm not there. What I'm getting out of this is, okay, we're gonna need X amount of dollars, we don't know how much. We're
Not
gonna need
exactly, if I
Yeah,
remember,
we're
yeah.
gonna need to hire somebody to do cabling, we don't know how much. We got a ballpark, but we don't know how much. And then throw on the backside of it, that puts you involved with monthly maintenance, correct? And that's part of your maintenance deal, it would be added to that?
So,
In perpetuity down the road every month and every year you've got software updates, does that make sense?
so there would be, so we roll the network management stuff into the price of the per devices, so that wasn't gonna increase for the contract, to be honest with you. It obviously would increase every, certain amount of years, equipment would need to be refreshed and
Yeah.
stuff, so there would be a continuing cost, not per se from me. In terms of monthly, you'd be looking at roughly every 5 years or so, 5, 6 years, replacing equipment, so you'd be, the point-to-point can stay past then, as long as it's still relevant and the speeds are, adequate, which what I was looking at for would be adequate for a very long time.
I'm just trying to get a complete picture, not just
Yeah,
here,
yep.
down the road, what's it look like next year,
Mhm.
you know?
So for the arena building and, over where Jim's at, that would basically be a one-time minus refreshing hardware. Every so often, there wouldn't be an additional cost for that, or anything extra needed the previous year unless something changed out there that was different from the way it is now. I can't speak to if, Jim has something special he needs next year, but, from the rough, my rough money calculations, it wasn't a full Wi-Fi onboarding, that I calculated because they have the need for exponentially more access points. But I was calculating roughly 4 of them, which still puts them in a better position than they are now for Wi-Fi coverage, and it's unified. It's not between the one router they have and the secondary access point. It's all one. So my hope was with that is that gets us to where would need to be for the moment, and then would budget for those additional access points to have them fully done. So that one, I would say, would be another couple thousand, not a lot for that in another year. But then it would be the same. There'd be no additional, because we already take care of the computer that's out there, and there's only the one computer. So there would be no charges for me. That one, I don't foresee, other than maybe running cable up the tower, that there would need to be any low voltage. 1-2 runs at most, depending on what we're really looking at. And then
Any digging involved? Is there any digging involved?
That would depend on, when Jim and I talked about it, if we were gonna go over to ag extension, there's the possibility it could be trenched. It could also be done wirelessly. It's close enough that trenching would be a nice option, because then, you put it in, you just don't worry about it.
Yeah, until somebody,
Until somebody digs it, yeah.
I kind of worry about, especially out of the fairgrounds,
Yep,
there's so much
digging.
underground utility out there
Yeah.
that nobody knows where anything is. We even found a landmine out there one time. It was amazing.
But, yeah, so, we could definitely go wireless for them also.
Can I ask a question? Sorry.
Come on.
I heard you say that we could just, from our building, with our 3 laptops, log out of our VPN and log into that VPN. And so I'm just sitting here processing. We are in a time constraint. We're only going to use it 2 months in our office out of the whole year. Is that a temporary solution for this year until you tackle this $15,000 project that you are proposing? That is all my office needs it for, and we really need entries to go June 1st. I'm a pretty responsible person, and I'm halfway tech savvy. I think I can log in and out of a VPN. One computer can just be on that VPN. It's just a backup. It doesn't have to be logged out. And my assistant's computer can also be logged in and out of only during the week of fair. I just need my computer to work for a month. So I don't know, maybe I'm half a brain cell less than an IT guy, but that sounds like the obvious solution to me.
In theory, we could. I'm a bit concerned about reliability. I don't know what the internet is actually like out there, and if it's disconnected, then it's just not gonna work at all. So if you, for some reason, it sounds like it's important that this works.
Yes.
So I'm a little bit concerned about if there are issues, what happens during those issues. Because disconnecting and reconnecting and disconnecting and reconnecting, it's bound that at some point in time, it's not going to connect.
So
And there's gonna be some sort of issue,
you
so
said
if
you
that
got a
happens.
spare laptop?
Yes,
Can you leave that connected all the time
to that
and do all the work on it? Just that one computer?
We can. The issue, Steve, is come sale night, all 3 laptops will have to be used, at least for that night. But we can do that. I'm willing to be as flexible as possible. It just has to happen this year, and then
We're talking about this may not even be possible to do this year. I know that bet you with the timeline we're talking about, we won't even touch it.
Being ready by June 1st is pushing it even for VPN stuff, because they've gotta create
What's the
the
lead
proper
time on a
networks
radio?
and stuff for it. For what?
What's the lead time on a radio?
I'd have to see if they are currently in stock. Sometimes they're out of stock, they do them in batches. sometimes when they're rolling the new products, they're out of stock for a month until they move to the new model. So I'd have to actually look and see if my distributor has them.
And we're in the 11th hour now.
Yeah,
That's what.
but we'd be
that's-
looking at,
Yeah.
just to get Jim's building done first, probably 20 hours, between configuration, making sure things are ran, tuned. And then we would need to, get the Agriplex on too, and we'd be looking at probably roughly the same amount of time. And then, so time-wise, having it done by June is, network-wise, the portion of things is, if we're going to physically connect them, is really pushing it, even if hardware is available.
So I think that you're correct and that we have to pursue the option where it is a workaround for right now. And to be honest with you, I'm like, why would the fair board buy something that they can't buy the whole thing? Like, I'll buy one tire right now, but I do need 4. So part of the problem is on the fair. Like, they bought some toy that they didn't know it ran. And so, if they wanna spend that much of their budget on updating that, I would pitch in something, but I'm going, we had no influence whatsoever on them.
Even if they wanted to spend a portion of their budget to partner with us to do it, we still don't know whether we can have it done in that amount of time.
Exactly.
So, I have 2 questions. So the first one is, with the VPN option, does that limit if only one person can access it at a time? I think I'm confused in that.
No,
If it's a VPN, multiple people can access it.
there would be
at once.
multiple VPNs, it would be per device.
Okay.
My concern is that they'd be at the point where if for some reason it doesn't connect or disconnects, and if these are gonna be mobile, the quality of internet, then they're gonna be completely down and it's not gonna work at all.
Is there any other option?
Flash drives, like Jenny said, and that software does support it, that is an option for them.
Yeah, so I think we have to really look in which is the best option out of those 2 right now.
For reliability standpoint and making sure that it will work when they need it to work, in my opinion, flash drives would be the better way to go, because it's gonna be hard to say what the quality of internet is at any given time, and if it doesn't connect, the last thing I would want for you guys is to not be able to keep any of that data.
Yeah, go back up the stairs.
Because the software wants you to point to where the data is gonna go. Flash drives allow you to keep it locally on the computer, so whatever you do, it's there, and then it gets copied off. And that
Version
is,
control becomes a huge issue.
yes, but that's probably the biggest issue there, but the data at least is not potentially gone and the software will work. Because I'm under the impression from the way the software works, if that data location, if we did do a VPN and pointed it somewhere else, if it's unavailable, it's just not going to work at all.
So my second question was, are there other counties that are on this software in Wyoming? And then,
All but 4.
so then, how do they do it? Between them and their ag extension office?
We've been trying to find that answer.
So we talked to one of them, and he said they just have a single laptop that they remote into. It's essentially the master computer,
That's the server?
basically, but that only allows one person at a time.
Okay,
And
that's
then,
where I.
yeah, so that we get back into that issue, because you can only have one person remote in, because it's just like I do for remote support. It's only one person can move the mouse and keyboard. I think a lot of these other counties probably have interconnectivity. And the solution, and I talked to him and he ran through exactly how they use it. He said they can use it if they're all in the same place on the same network. Now that leaves the problem of, where's if the data's on that master computer, I'd say most of the time that master computer is gonna be somewhere that's not, available to the other ones, so you're just kind of back in the same boat. And then they don't use the other ones. Is the way he explained it to me. And obviously, we only talked to, one of them. But my guess is that there is a central available data location for the other ones. That would be more normal.
Sounds like you guys have to get with Jordan and figure out which is the most effective or least labor intensive way to do it.
What are your concerns with the USB approach?
I have none. Hannah doesn't like it.
Now, I'm sitting here wearing two hats because I'm also talking on behalf of the sale committee because I'm looking out for them as well. And that was a huge thing with the Fair Board approaching them to purchase this, that it would have that function. So as I'm sitting here processing for 4-H side, not very many concerns with the USB. But all three laptops, because unfortunately Jenny's is a desktop, like the sale committee, they all just need to talk that night, is essentially the wording I got from them. And so sitting there with 3 flash drives, you can't be running every time a buyer buys an animal to the mother laptop or to the mother computer and re-downloading everything. And do you get where I'm, and so I'm just processing how that looks, the options for that.
Cause I do get Jordan's concern that if the VPN breaks or it doesn't connect all the way, and I don't know if you're able to start doing work and then it crashes and then like nothing saves, I don't know how it works.
I
have to
don't
back
either,
up.
that's my
I can
major
see where
concern
that would be
also.
like,
You have to back up, like,
that would
back
drive
up a
me
lot.
nuts. And you can't predict it not working or dropping, right? And so I get that concern, but I also certainly get all of your concerns that it's gotta be in place by June 1.
But here's the thing, if there's that many other counties that use it and it works just fine, there is no reason why our county can't use it and it works just fine
I
as
think
well.
it's more of a time thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
We
mean,
should have known about this a long time
I
ago
mean,
to be
yeah,
able to make that
if we
happen.
would have been talking about this last year at this time so that we could budget for it, schedule it, get it put in, but
There's nothing preventing us from making it work eventually, it's just your guys' timeline is almost impossible to make it work.
and
So here's my-
and we're
I
not
understand
budgeting
that.
for it either.
Here's my suggestion, and my suggestion counts for 0, but take what you want. I think you go with the USB option simply out of the timeline issue. Sale night is still a little ways away, and so maybe there's some brainstorming that can happen before sale night to get that workable. But I think for June 1, it sounds like the most reliable and fastest option is the USB option.
Because we're talking 10 days.
Yeah.
Putting a pin in sale night, of course, that if there was a way that Jordan thinks that we could get a reliable VPN on one night as opposed to over that 60-day period, right?
Yeah, so if you
That's-
put a router there and they all connect to some, if there's a router or an access point right there with a local network,
It
that
still needs
services
Jenny's computer.
it still needs Jenny's computer.
Cause
How
it's
many
the
other-
mother computer.
It's the
There's 3 other ones.
So like my
So those-
computer is basically the store of
The
all of
server,
the things.
It's where the data, the end all be all data would live. And that's my major concern with it. I know Jim's had internet issues out there, and if it drops in the middle of it, I'm not sure
I
if that data
agree.
is just
I
gone.
agree.
And so I'm really concerned about that portion of things and the reliability of
I
it.
just take some hand notes. I mean,
I mean,
legitimately,
you almost would have to as a backup, because
yeah,
if you're connected to that software and
Take
it's,
what?
hand notes. I mean, write it down on paper.
Big chief.
Big Chief tablet.
And crayons.
That's the smartest piece of equipment I own.
right, cause I get why you guys would
Never
need,
forgets.
you know, the laptops to be able to talk to each other, cause I'm assuming there's stuff between sales and stuff that, you know, needs to probably be updated on all 3.
So basically on
Laptops.
sale night, all 3 of your laptops need to be able to talk to Jenny's computer.
Essentially, yes.
So is that a radio? Is that a local? I mean, I'm going back to, it's a lot easier to tie in a local network than it is to a.
We would, cause that happens over behind the arena, right?
Can you do a bridge?
Well, that's what I was just, but then we're back to spending money again.
$400.
I mean, if we're gonna spend $400, we might as well buy one of the bridges that we were gonna use to connect the building and use one of those.
Exactly.
Can
Right.
you physically connect the computers? Not virtually,
It still has to get back to Jenny's.
but I'm saying if Jenny's computer was moved to
That's what I'm thinking.
the sale table for that night
Can you move?
and
her
they're
computer?
physically connected, is that viable?
Ish. I don't
see him
think it's a great idea to have the desktop out in that environment, but
Here's where I'm going with it. Back to my recommendation was, I think the June 1 thing's not the best solution, but the solution, right? And then there's that brainstorming ahead of sale night to figure out what the best way to get this connectivity without the USBs is. Does that make sense? Like, that kind of outside of the box thinking, what
Right.
can we do ahead of sale night? June 1 through July, what, 6th or 9th? Did you say?
July 10th.
I didn't get either one. That, I think, is figured out. It's just sale night now that's the issue.
What is sale night? What day is that?
August 1st.
So by August first, we have to have some figured out, so we'll.
Oh, wait,
computers can
sorry.
talk to them.
It's the 31st, isn't it?
July 31st.
Sorry, that was the day off.
That's why I made my recommendation was, and then for 2027 fair, that's why we have these discussions a year in advance and then
Yeah,
get it moving to get a permanent solution. Not the best short-term solution, but it works. And then plan for the long term for next year, spare.
How long has this software been on site? How did that come about? How long?
You guys voted on it. February.
February, I think
Or was
we,
it November?
I think it was February, and then Hannah and I went to that training in Cody in April. So that's when like a lot of things really came to light.
That's when the bomb went off, or started, was in April.
Yeah.
Okay.
You guys
Once we
talked
got to
Jordan at all?
Cody and really sat down for 3 days and went through everything with the CEO and founder of the company, then we were kind of like, okay, well,
You guys make a point to talk to Jordan before you buy big software.
Hey, don't include me.
I-
I just need this to work for my kids,
Yeah.
okay?
But I mean,
No finger pointing, it's just.
buyer beware. Sounds like a mess of its own creation, to be honest with you. Like,
So I'm really hesitant to put Jenny's computer in that kind of environment. If it falls over, I mean, then it's done anyways. I think a bridge would be a better option for that if we can spend a little bit of money.
I'm not as immersed in the technology as you are, but I can see a way where we can do it for a couple $100.
Yeah, and I mean, we don't have to buy one of the actual bridges. It'd just be money that essentially we probably won't reuse the equipment for if we do it that way for a couple $100. But yes, it is possible for a couple $100. We'd be looking at a couple hundred versus probably 1,200 if we bought a bridge that we would be using for the future.
Yeah.
maybe we could rent a bridge.
Actually, you know what, we might be able to. I know a guy. It's
I know
actually
a
not a
guy,
bad
that's
point.
right.
Let me do some asking.
Well, it's a temporary thing anyway.
Right.
You know.
No, I didn't even think about that. It is, because I personally don't have anything laying around, but I know somebody that probably does.
You're not gonna
That's
put
right.
4 new tires on a pickup you're gonna trade off and not get anything for them, so rent
Seems
it.
to happen every time I sell a truck. I put tires on it right before I sell it.
That'll teach you.
Uh-huh.
So tell the guy you know that will put his name somewhere on a panel that is brought to you by.
Probably doubled up at that point, but.
I guarantee it.
I think that's a valid option. We just need to, we'll have to look at where exactly everything's going and where we mount there. And we could probably get that sorted relatively easily.
Is that something that Jim's crew would be part of, mounting and stuff like that, or would that be your?
BJ?
I mean, I'm not saying he will be able to help, but I mean, we can find somebody that can assist in some of that stuff.
I think he's got a big old guilt bone. Can pull on it for a second. But the kids, BJ.
The kids.
The kids.
Yeah, you don't have to guilt them too hard, just ask nicely, he says yes, but,
Yeah.
I wanna put you in the bucket truck.
yeah, no,
Not doing it.
don't do that anymore.
Fair enough.
I was telling you about that story, wasn't I? Yeah, had bad experiences with bucket trucks.
Just close your eyes.
Well,
What's
it's
happening?
more just getting stuck up there because they don't let me run the controls and then they walk away for 15, 30 minutes.
Well, I think we can find a way to get it done.
Yes, yeah, for sure.
And if Jeff and I, we can help you, we'll do it. Ian.
Go get a GLG and you won't get stuck up there because you run your own.
Right.
The simplest fix is have somebody stand outside. The original wireless is somebody standing at that building yelling to the guy in the other building.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah,
Hey, we sold this one for X amount.
smoke signal.
Type it in.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Jordan, I got an unrelated question,
Okay.
but it's in your job stack. Steve gets emails, Ian gets emails that I don't get in the commissioner group. Or maybe it's not a group, maybe, I may be
no, it
using
is
the
a
wrong word.
group. I'm sure probably what it is normal, so the groups show up on the left-hand side. They're probably subscribed to get them in their normal inbox.
Oh, yeah.
So when you go to the group, there's a group settings deal in Outlook, and you just say, you open that, and then there's a single checkbox, and then it'll also send them to your normal, it puts a copy of them in your inbox.
Okay,
So you can still view them just by going to the commissioners group on the left-hand side. You just won't get notifications that you.
because they don't fly over to the inbox.
Because they don't, it doesn't put a
They
copy.
don't go to
in.
junk, they just don't show up.
Right, it's because they live in that group. That one setting is what makes them come into your
All right.
inbox. So if you can't find it, let me know.
Well,
We can,
Yeah, because there's been times, Steve said, well, did you get this
Oh, man.
email from, no.
yeah.
That makes me feel
Yeah,
better.
so
I'll
like,
send
even
all
like on
mine
your
to
phone,
junk mail.
like I can show you real quick. I don't think the setting's available on your phone. It needs to be on your computer, but.
You know what, come here.
So like, if I go to mine, I can go over to the side and then I have a groups option, then I have all my groups, so I can go to,
You see my groups, you see that number?
yep, so you click on it once, and now you have commissioners, and it's gonna, there's your messages, so you can view them.
So you already fixed it, great.
Yep, so you just have to
They'll go to the
remember-
inbox now, they won't.
Right, well, but from a computer, we can change that and they will go to your inbox also. Or if you just remember you need to check that, it's however you prefer to use it.
All right.
It's really, that's why it's a user level.
Well, when I
setting.
sit down at a laptop, I'm just gonna say, hey, Jordan, help walk me through this.
Okay, if I'm available, I'll answer you.
Yeah.
I like that if part.
So let's move on to library onboarding.
Okay, really technically they have been onboarded. We just seem to have a little bit of an issue currently, with, whether it was lack of communication or understanding. They seem to be under the impression that things haven't been done for quite a while and haven't had access to the network shares and whatnot, which they have on all of their new computers in the offices downstairs.
So it's like similar to Jeff's problems, the ability's there, he just doesn't know how to do it.
Kind of.
That's my problem.
And nobody reached out to me and said, we don't know how to do it for a long time, and now it's kind of become a problem. Julie let me know the board was angry. And I think you guys have been being copied on some of the emails. She told me the other day that, they think that she should be emailing me every single day, and that they were going to tell me to come over at a certain time, and that I was gonna do what they told me to do. Which hasn't come through in an email, that was just passed along, which I don't super appreciate, and I also don't think is right, because,
So basically, they need some training.
well, the thing is, after I found out, I showed Julie, how to access them, and they're there, and have been there. They're just we're only there on the new computers, which was discussed in the beginning when I put those in. I told her, I was like, I didn't change anything, because I didn't, when I found out that it didn't work, I went and looked, but there was nothing to change. And then I remoted in with her, and then 3 minutes, we open File Explorer, click this PC, and they're there. The kicker is that there was a lack of understanding that it was on those computers, and I was also told they basically don't use those computers. So we put in 4 new computers in the offices, and they don't actually use them. So I was under the impression that it wasn't a big deal if they didn't have those network shares until we replaced the other computers on the ones upstairs. So I think the disconnect here has been that they thought that they were everywhere, and they've only been trying to use them on the computers that they didn't exist on instead of where they did exist. But it's kind of created a problem where it looks like I didn't do my job, and they're angry, and
So has that all gotten straightened out?
To an extent, yes, but I think the board still wants basically me to come over and have a meeting with them and spend 5 minutes showing them where the network shares are. Because I think they think there's more, I can,
No, I
But-
mean Julie, could she do that?
yes,
So you've already showed Julie where.
correct,
Okay.
yes. Yeah, Julie's aware of where they are, I made sure to iterate, and there's only 2 computers left to replace, and that's happening this week anyways. And then they'll have had all new computers all the way around. But yes, I mean, it's you open File Explorer and click on this PC and the network drives are there. It just has to be done on computers that were fully joined to the domain.
And after this weekend, every one of them will be.
Correct.
I'm not that concerned about the library. I assume always that it's miscommunication in some form or fashion. And I understand both sides of it because to be technologically literate nowadays is actually pretty big. But you do know when something doesn't meet your expectations. You may not understand the conversation about that explained why it would be that way.
Yeah, so and I wanna make sure that everybody understands like that things were done. And it just was a fact of, it's been months of them thinking it wasn't and nobody said anything to me about it until obviously. Once again, we kinda got to the head of it, I think, so I'm
Where does that head usually rest?
with
The miscommunication.
probably between, in my opinion, I would say it's probably between the library and the board. Because obviously when I do something for a user, they're generally either present or I've talked to them about it. I don't talk directly to the board,
I would agree with that.
so, and normally I wouldn't really expect to, cause I'd be more expecting to talk to either Julie or you guys. Since, the contract flows, that direction.
Do you think it would be in the interest of getting rid of that shortcut or that game of telephone, maybe a spot on there for meetings every once in a while?
If we could, but one that we could do like once a quarter, right, or something
If you
like
have
that,
something
I
going
guess.
on over there.
I mean, in theory, we aren't gonna have anything going on for quite some time, since everything's been replaced and they've been onboarded.
But I think to Ian's point, similar
But-
to walking around to the offices in this building,
Mm-hmm.
just having a presence, it just allows for that, just like that. Is there a
Short circuits.
issue that,
Right.
Short circuit.
Yeah, I mean, and I have been over there, like it's, it's not like I haven't been over there
I
at
think
all.
that's probably the issue is,
And I would much prefer to have tickets than be caught and not know how much time I'm spending there.
the board is a volunteer board that's only there for the meeting.
Right.
And
So, yeah, I mean, if you mean like go to a meeting,
Yeah.
then yes,
Right,
yeah,
yeah. I think that works in your interest
Yeah.
also.
yeah, we're gonna do that. I mean, it can be like
Could say
general
you had
updates
a-
for you guys. It might just be me saying nothing's changed, but I guess nothing's changed,
I also
so
brought
it'll be fine.
crumpets.
but it gives them a chance.
Yeah, yeah, I mean,
You close the miscommunication loop, and if the board has concerns, they can say them directly, and
They don't get frustrated,
gotcha.
or they don't allow themselves to be frustrated. Usually
Gotcha.
someone else is like pushing them to be frustrated, take on my problem, it is a problem,
Right,
and be angry with me. It's usually how it goes.
right. Yeah, cause just not a lot of fun to stay in that cycle of having issues and,
No, the board doesn't like it either.
right.
Nobody likes
Yeah.
it.
It doesn't work for anybody.
No,
really.
it doesn't. That's my point,
That's the
like,
thing.
it's not great.
Yeah,
It's kind of counterproductive because it takes time away from actual
very counterproductive.
work, so.
You may find that you save a lot of time answering tickets or whatever, as they goes between you, us, and the board. Maybe that disappears.
Gotcha. Yep. Other than that, I don't really, general updates, kind of things are the way they have been.
That's
For the
good.
rest of general updates, there's nothing, super crazy. I think our audio project for the, special meetings and stuff like that went very successfully. So
Many
hopefully.
people have said how much clearer it is, and it's just way better. I don't know whether it was a change in mics, don't know what
Oh,
you
yeah,
did,
we-
but it worked.
Sounds like you guys will find out tomorrow.
We will. We will. I appreciate somebody with more creative, I mean, it was probably a very easy project for you, right?
A lot of research, but implementation wasn't too bad.
Yeah.
It was
But
slightly out of wheelhouse, but I guess
easy
it's becoming my wheelhouse.
Yeah, easy compared to somebody who's trying to translate from Japanese to English and have never even been next to somebody who speaks Japanese, right?
Right.
That's the value of
Yeah.
having somebody who's an expert. Thank you very much.
Not a problem. I think that's honestly probably the biggest thing that's changed or happened
Well, and
recently.
you know, the rest of the people in the county that can't attend whatever this and that, working yada yada, they're gonna appreciate it because they can actually discern what's being said.
Yeah, my wife will slap me after I get home.
She's gonna be like, you said that, I told you not to. And she could actually hear you.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so.
Jordan, thank you.
Yeah, not a problem. We'll see you guys tomorrow morning.
Thanks.
Nope.
Lucinda.
Yes, I just have one little thing. Thank you. Just to give you guys, you're probably aware of this, but I just definitely want you to have your own copy of this in case you don't already.
No, I already got one.
There you go.
You should really ask to be on the agenda or something like that.
Okay, we will break for lunch.
Thank you.